All right. Hello. Welcome back to again Capistani Lounge here with Darth Revan and Coin Monster, who's playing Stardew Valley.
Yes. Hey, where the hell is Clint? Damn it.
Bunny Riley can't come because he's working.
Evan, go to bed.
No. And why we say this on stream?
Because you need to go to bed.
Yeah, because he's sleepy, and if he's sleepy, then he should fight and just get some rest.
I know there was something that was marked over here.
People in the chat, if you're there, tell Revan to get some sleep.
Go to bed.
No.
Yes.
Gavin, this is harassment.
Sexual harassment.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
This is harassment.
No, it's not.
I'm joking, but whatever. Are you telling this to the chat? Telling me to need to go to sleep all the way to the chat?
Yeah, but the chat is empty right now, so.
Okay, good. Don't say anything.
I don't understand this one hint that has here. Where is it?
All right, I'm gonna
right
find
here.
It's link.
I can't even get over there. It's like, what is it telling me right here?
What is it?
There are two other people in the chat. Oop.
Yeah, there's nobody in the YouTube chat right now. I'm going to find that one article.
Oh, there's two people.
Bring it up.
What article is another cockroach? Or cockroaches?
No, not a cockroach one.
I know.
It's one on stupid bullshit happening in a UK university one.
Oh my god. Ooh, yeah. I mean, it's Tuesday. What they call Tuesday over there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picking up.
And this is at a UK university.
Imagine my shock.
Yeah. I guess I'll screen share this. Screen share.
No one is speaking in the chat. Oof.
Yeah, right now it's Ghost Town.
Oh, the night market is here again. I'm trying to look for the damn dinosaur egg or wherever it had marked over here, but I can't find it.
Hello, there's someone in the chat.
Wrong one. Okay, here we go. Lecturers banned from using capital letters to avoid upsetting students.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
Capital letters. You're not allowed to use capital letters.
Yeah. Lecturers have been banned from using capital letters when assigning work to students because it might upset them. Staff at Leeds Trinity's journalism department have been told writing to students using capital letters could scare them into failure, and instead suggested using a friendly tone and avoiding the use of negative language. Critics have since slammed the memo, saying it is just aiding to the, quote, snowflake generation being overindulged throughout their education following incidents in Manchester and Kent. The memo said, despite our best attempts to explain assessment tasks, any lack of clarity can generate anxiety and even disgrace students from attempting assessment at all. The Express reports that it goes on to say writing in words in capital letters could make the assignment appear more difficult, adding to anxieties.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just lunacy. This new policy that whoever decided it was a good idea to implement this, it's not helping at all. Nope. It's just abuse.
As someone who does suffer from anxiety, this is incredibly condescending.
Yes.
Yep.
Like,
are they trying to make their students illiterate in a university? Come on.
Probably. I mean, as if we didn't have public school to help us out with that problem.
And why would these students have anxiety over capital letters?
I don't know why. It's like
It doesn't make any sense.
if it upsets them that much, they shouldn't be in school. They should be in a mental institute.
Yeah.
Because if you're triggered by something like that, you need serious professional help.
Yes. Seek professional help now. Oh, God.
Yes. Drop everything and go get help now. I don't care what you're doing right now. Go now. Oh, my back.
God.
So itchy. It's the stupid weather. It's making me scared.
Yeah, it's just so stupid.
Stupid.
Crazy stupid. Makes no sense at all. I can't imagine how you could get anxiety over capital letters. I can't.
Oh my god.
Could it be because, according to leftists, oppressive capitalist patriarchy? Capital letters are oppressive. Yeah, free.
Look, Abigail's here. My waifu, come here.
What?
I'm talking to my waifu. Oh, hold on.
Hello, Crod7435, Harry Alexander, and I am Cancer. I am Cancer says next they should ban capital cities.
Do it.
Harry Alexander, capital? That's just a few letters away from capitalism. I'm triggered. Yeah, you gotta laugh. As insane and startling and just self-destructive it is, you just gotta laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Really funny. All right, going to the next topic. Huffington Post recently criticized a family holiday film.
Rudolph.
Yeah, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
This character is a bigot. This character is a jerk. This is racist. This is sexist.
How? I'll ask you how.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over. I'm just gonna talk about what about their video said about Rudolph.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
There's
Little brother.
Not allowed to use capital letters everywhere. Yeah, I can agree with Koi on there. Yep, that is very condescending that it thinks that anxious people cannot deal with capital letters. Are you kidding me? What the fuck?
Yeah.
I have anxiety over other problems, you know, not fucking letters.
That's at least, what the fuck? Why the fuck is that even a problem at all?
No, they're just inventing things. Ugh. They're just inventing problems, you know, at this point.
Yeah, leftists invent problems and complain about non-issues so much.
Kind of like the government.
Yeah.
That's another bad day for mining. Shit.
Everyone just loves being a victim nowadays for some reason. I don't know why.
Victimization is not virtuous.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Holy crap,
Now a ditty by Revan. While I try to find this other article. I know someone quote tweeted it.
Oh yeah, capital. That's just a few letters away from kid. I'm triggered. I'm triggered. Oh, next time we should ban capital cities. I agree. That's what we need to do.
Do it. I should have bookmarked this.
Niggers.
Stop that.
Niggers.
No.
I'm
Niggers.
just gonna
I gotta get that auto milker soon.
search for it.
I gotta get the
Ridiculous.
Search on the internet, niggers. And fried chicken. Oh god.
I need a large goat milk, but they don't have any. Yeah.
Niggers and fried chicken and watermelon. Niggers. Niggers.
Red chap.
Niggers.
Chap.
Niggers.
Having chap.
Revan, you're being too spurgy right now.
Yeah, calm down.
I just try to be adorable. Oh god. I'm not.
Annoying, not.
Okay.
I'm not.
There more.
Deep.
Berg.
Did you say
And
spur?
so they're looking over. I found the little short video in which they criticize this movie, in which they go over the young reindeer mocking Rudolph, calling him names.
Well,
The
whole
turn that down.
be a dick.
I don't want a sound to come out this.
Hashtag me too. I just got ear raped.
Yeah, same. My hands are freaking cold.
Stop reaping our ears.
And the segment in this little video is titled Rudolph the Marginalized Reindeer.
We need a new law that prevents ear rape. Ear rape is banned.
Good luck.
I know, I'm making a joke. We're gonna ban ear rape.
And they said, lately viewers are noticing the tale may not be so jolly after all.
No, I know. Are they offended now?
And they're sharing their observations online.
The whole freaking point of the damn movie was don't be a dick to people just because they're different from you.
And this person, Garrett Poirier, tweeted, the yearly reminder that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is a parable on racism and homophobia with bigoted, exploitive Jew-prick.
What is happening? Okay, I need to hide from the stupidity. Excuse me. I'm hiding now. Don't mind me.
Don't want to catch the stupid.
And then another person, Dave, said his operation is an HR nightmare and in serious need of diversity and inclusion training.
Oh my god.
Inclusion training. What the fuck is that? Oh my god, these people are such
Former
pussies.
fans are pointing out Rudolph's father verbally abuses him.
What the? Okay, pussy training. Let's train let's train our culture to be a bunch of friggin' pussies. God. What's with
the part where his father has Rudolph put on that fake nose? And there's Santa Claus berates Donner for his son's nose.
Yeah, Santa was an asshole, but
yeah. The school coach encourages bullying.
Ugh.
The entire point of the movie is don't be a dick to people just because they're different from you.
Yeah. Donner forbids his wife from joining the search for their son.
Congratulations, you missed the entire point of the goddamn movie.
Yeah.
You're a retard. Congratulations. Are you
Dad is a
happy?
bigot. That's what they said about Clarice's dad.
Bigot! Oh, he's just
Even the elf is an
everyone's a
outcast.
fucking bigot to these people. Fuck. That's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer
I didn't really
had a very bigoted father.
Oh, god damn it. My shoulders are itching like crazy.
And then there's this JT person on Twitter. An appropriate bit of wisdom for Rudolph. It's good we don't fit in. It means we're not assholes.
Okay.
And that kind of win on our side. Didn't they destroy their own argument there? But in the end, Rudolph and friends learned the bitter truth.
Bitter truth about what?
What?
Hold on, the video is freaking buffering. Come on, stop it.
Stop buffering like a nigger. Okay.
You rude.
Come on.
That sounded rude.
Niggers.
Bitter truth. Speaking of Rudolph, your yearly reminder, deviation from the norm will be punished unless it is exploitable.
Okay, what the fuck?
Yeah.
The whole entire point is that he didn't let them discriminate against him get to them, and that he proved himself in the end.
Yeah, and they complain, it's Ray. Oh, they're dodging like a whole bunch of jerks and being bullies. Well, that's sort of the whole point. Like, otherwise it would be Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose, and it was okay. Ba-da-boom. The end.
These people are being more autistic.
It would be a very short and dull movie otherwise, without those characters.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Nigger had a lot of fried chicken. And if you ever saw him, you'd see all the chicken bones everywhere.
Okay.
Fried chicken.
Atlas says you'll join in soon.
Yay.
He missed it. He missed the most fun parts. Oh well. We can always catch up later.
Yeah.
The rest is just fun open discussion.
Let's ban capital niggers. Our man. Oh my gosh! Wow. Oh my god! I can't believe it. Q&A. Are men obsolete? Wow.
God.
Men are obsolete, you guys. You guys.
I think Golden Dash wants to come.
Oh, men are obsolete. I didn't know that. Wow. I didn't know that. What should we do with the males? Just throw them. You must respect women.
Women.
All the men are filthy Jews. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, great. Hope that doesn't take it off YouTube. Frick.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm a Spurg.
All right. Well, maybe Golden will come. Maybe not.
Golden, yes.
Oh, Bunny replied to me about not working too hard, and he says he won't. LOL.
Yeah. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Nigger.
Oh, come on. We went over that already.
Had a lot of fried chicken. Aw. We need to get Voltaire on the stream sometime.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, he's so annoying.
Yeah, he's
Oh, but
annoying.
I would troll him. That's the point.
The female. Female is not impressed with him.
I don't know if you want to stay
Female.
away.
The female.
The female.
Doubt it.
Press X for doubt.
Do it quick. Do it quick.
What?
Press X for doubt.
Okay.
Yep.
Reason. Shit.
So, in your game, Koi, which year is it? Year 2 on winter?
Yeah, it's only year 1. It's almost over though.
Is this a newer file?
Yeah.
Capitalism has to end, and we're all doomed. This is a non-compete video I just found. Oh my god! And it's got seven. It's got seven. It's got 7,000. It's got 7,000 views. Oh my god!
Well, one of us will be bound to respond to it. Maybe SO, maybe Postal Cat.
Don't do response videos.
Can a carbon text save the planet? Oh my god!
No,
Oh, Atlas is in the YouTube chat right now. He says, "Who's the post that failed?" Huffington Post, of course.
Huffington.
HuffPo, they suck at criticism.
Someone just randomly said Missy in the chat. Okay, cool.
Communard. New person.
Missy.
Is he talking? Is he addressing me or is he addressing Koi?
I don't know.
Hiya.
Jay the Magic Robot. Hello.
That
oh my god, I hear you.
You can hear my voice. What do you think of my voice, Jay? You've got quite a voice too, right? It's okay. It's okay. I understand what you meant.
Praise Allah.
No.
Oh. Well, yeah. Well, now you've heard it. Yeah, Jaguar's here. You're late, Jaguar. You're
late. Kind of take stuff out of your tip. Can a carbon tax save the planet? Oh my god.
No, it cannot.
Well, let's probably find a way to subvert it or something. Heard all of our voices like a bunch of friggin' niggers.
It's funny how leftists are always using the same buzzwords and obsessive over everything. Racist, sexist, homophobic.
No, we're all victims. It's so good to be a victim. Oh my gosh.
Jay, why is your voice different?
My hands.
What happened to your voice?
Gotten them.
Maybe the niggers did it.
And my ear itches.
The niggers did it. Oh god.
Stop being so itchy.
And you stop being a nigger.
Twitter link.
What was that? That didn't sound good.
Yawn.
No thunder over here. It hasn't rained at all over in MD today.
Oops, storm
on. Thunder, give me the news. What the fuck is wrong with my head?
Oh, oof. That sucks, Jay.
What's going on in the chat? What's going on?
Jay says he had surgery, so he's missing some teeth.
Ouch.
Yeah.
It's sad.
I'm sure that had to be painful. Ugh.
Hands are cold.
Oh, that's sad.
Man.
How long ago was that? I hope it doesn't. I hope you're not feeling any pain anymore.
It's sad.
Beep.
Yeah. So does it still? So does your mouth still hurt? Like, was this very recent? The surgery?
Australia's talking about Australia's anti-male culture. Oh my god.
Fuck that.
There's a
Come
bunch of feminists in
on.
Australia.
For Christ's sake. What did we do? What did
There's a
we
bunch
do?
of feminists in Australia.
I guess so.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Fuck that. I'm not going.
Well, I'm glad you're no longer in pain, Jay.
I'm not going to Australia.
Well, Pipsqueaky's definitely not a feminist, and he's an Aussie. He's an Aussie pone. The best Aussie pone.
Indeed.
Get away there. Get out. Get out. Save yourself. Save yourself.
Yes.
Lots of large milk. Fortunately, I need another.
Yeah, Australia has been hit rather hard with all this political bullshit.
Yeah.
How about Sweden? That'd be worse.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's really bad over there, too.
Eek. You're super cucked.
That sounds like a really bad superhero, super cuck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God!
Yeah, it would look like
Stop!
Spot
Slime images. Spot slime images intensifies.
Oh no! I will save you from the stupid.
Thought slime flashbacks intensifies.
Super King Cook, aka Thought Slime.
Or bottom bit.
Well, more than a cuck, but let's not get into
that. Yeah, let's not get too much into it. So how was everyone's day?
Okay, got some art done.
That's good. Got a lot of art done.
Yeah, I really hated how I had to go over that one sketch though, but at least it was better to realize that before I finished all the line art for it.
Yeah, with the hands.
Yeah, the whole body pretty much. For that one character.
Yeah, I'm like you. When I do my art, when it's like something specific, I get fussy over details as well. It's all part of the process. You gotta fuss, or else you just look like crap.
Model sheets for my characters, but I'm gonna do that once the chapter's done, or my second chapter's done, and I'm probably gonna sell it for like $6 if anyone wants it. Does that sound good?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a decent price.
I got a question for if anyone's got problems with I'm just wondering if anyone else has been I'm wondering if anyone else has been having problems with PayPal because I can't seem to do much. I can't seem to pay for things online that I wanted with it.
I haven't been using PayPal for anything. So how about you guys in the chat?
I might switch over to Square because they're already connected to my bank account. So. Freak! Wait. I need 500 wood. Shit.
So much wood.
Was it a good day to go mining or not? I forget. Shit.
Revan, how was your day?
Did he fall asleep?
Oh, he fell asleep finally.
Maybe. I hope so. He needs to go to sleep.
Yeah, he really needs the rest.
Remember when
He can't keep staying up all night and several nights in a row or whatever.
everyone fell asleep on the street?
No, stop talking about it.
Oh, sorry.
No, we thought you fell asleep.
Oh, wait, come back, my waifu.
Stop talking about it constantly.
I wish my waifu, Abigail, was real. She's best waifu. She can eat quartz.
So she has pica.
Yeah, but it doesn't destroy her teeth, surprisingly. Oh, good, I have enough wood, finally.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe she eats small amounts of it at a time. I don't know.
What eats what? Quartz?
Yeah, quartz, like as in the the rock.
Golden,
2
you're
+ 2 is
doxing your
4.
elbow. You were just doxing your elbow right there, I think.
Oh no!
Oh no, the communists know what my elbow looks like.
No.
You can get all the identification there.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh my.
Yeah, so Golden, to recap, the two topics that we went over was the UK University wants to prohibit capital letters in this university in the UK, especially towards like lecturers.
Capital letters.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What kind of cockamamie fascist idea are they going for here?
I don't know. Whatever it is,
No,
it's
just-
self-destructive. And
I don't know. I want to just. If I was a teacher, then I'd just spam to every one of my students in capital letters. Fuck.
come on.
Perfect. We'll destroy the establishment just yet.
Use capital letters for every word.
Yes.
And how about this? We use capital letters and we scream in every one of our conversations. There you go.
Mm-hmm. It's just the start of the conversation you have to scream at. Like, hey!
How are you doing?
Oh my god.
I'm doing just fine! How about you?
And the other topic, Golden, was going over. Oh, hey Zachary. We were just recapping the topic.
My favorite Christian came into the chat room.
Yeah.
Wait, that'd be Matt. That'd be mean to the other Christians.
How many
Oh,
of them
no.
have
Zachary,
Okay.
are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I'm late. What on this?
Okay, well, the first topic that we just discussed was the UK university banning capital letters from being used for lectures and school assignments because anxiety towards the students.
What the? Wait.
How does basic grammar traumatize people?
I know, right? It makes no sense at all.
I was saying, because I actually do have anxiety, and that's the most condescending horseshit I've ever heard. Even more than the
Yeah.
clapping thing, Jesus Christ.
Normal grammar offends liberals. No one's surprised.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So crazy.
Yeah, don't go to that school. Don't ever go to that school.
Don't ever go to school.
Never go to that school.
That it just proves that they're incompetent.
Yeah.
Like they can't teach you anything. So why would you want to go there?
I know.
Ugh.
Fuck Duke University.
At least the Catholic,
Hmm.
at least the Catholic schools emphasize something competent, and the Lutheran ones too.
Yeah. Something. I mean, they're not really. They're a little bit lacking in science department. I'll be honest. But yeah, they're good about almost everything else. Literally everything else, actually.
And the other topic that was went over and had a whole ball of laughs over was Huffington's lame ass criticism over Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer movie.
Oh boy. What have they got to say this time?
They first called it like Rudolph the marginalized reindeer, and they were pointing
What
to
the heck?
Rudolph's dad and Clarice's dad as bigots and sexists. And then somewhere in there they cried racism and homophobia. And,
Even though it's nothing of the
Racism to
Oh, come on,
reindeer.
that was
yeah,
phobia somehow.
okay.
The whole idea about
Guys.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is literally about him being different, and then they respect it in the end. 'Cause
Yeah.
that difference made it
Exactly.
With the whole
I mean,
homophobia thing, it's
There's
like
no need to add anything more to it.
as well
Yeah.
as
exactly.
the whole homophobia thing.
They may be mean at first, like the fucking
trying to-
fucking racists. But it's like the racists figuring out black people can sit in the sun all day while white people burn up.
Okay.
yeah. The conclusion they came up with at the end was, well, you're different, but you're also expendable and exploited.
They're expendable and exploited.
Yeah.
Oh, every white person, every white male thrown into a fucking war.
I'm marginalized. You guys are interrupting me.
Guys, I'm being marginalized here. I'm very different. Look,
Marginalized because you keep interrupting me.
Yeah, and now it's just like, I don't know, open discussion. So, Zachary, Golden,
Yeah?
how are you two doing tonight?
I'm doing fine.
Doing okay.
Better than not fine and not okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just have like a massive toothache. I still haven't went to the fucking dentist.
Oh, there's
Like,
animals in here.
yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Revan? And please don't do that thing you usually do. Malum wanted to talk to you about that regarding the N-word. We need to tone it down some.
Ow, what happened to my game? It froze. No!
Oh, news.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, there it goes.
So
And-
anyway, Revan, how you doing?
Not so bad.
He's very
That's
sweet.
good.
I'm not tired anymore. Yay.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's good. Well, that way you can't fall asleep in stream like you did the one time.
Prim fell asleep on stream.
Oh,
I think I
What's
remember.
I think I have a topic we can discuss. I mean, ESO did mention in the Red Forest server of Discord about what was it? An electronics company whose stock is crashing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Did he?
What's the electronics company?
Okay, let me get on the server and see.
Okay.
I mean,
I mean,
You never have milk, you stupid goat.
breaking
Is it the goat?
news.
Ugh,
As non-subsidized companies failing due to market forces.
oh, there we go. Yes, I got the large goat milk.
Markets don't work, guys, because look,
Oh no, you have to compete.
there's people failing, and we can't have people failing. I mean, gotta pump up the money.
God forbid people learn to look after themselves. Oh, back to chase.
Oh no, as people are failing, let's just regulate and restrict the markets more.
Yeah, I mean, just gotta pump up the money.
As it's either they themselves just suck at running a business, or because of the damn regulations to begin with.
Yeah. It could either be it could either be regulations that are making this company fail, or it could be just the market.
Or they just suck.
I doubt they're subsidized.
Or they just suck.
Exactly. It could just suck.
Hey everyone, Chris Ray Gun here. Oh god.
Oh no.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
That's like Chris
Oh, is that
Reagan,
you?
no.
Yeah,
Oh, is that you, Melon?
old.
Yeah, sorry, I'm looking through ESO's server for the video I'm referring to, so
All
I
right.
don't really see your icon.
Chris Reagan is a scary guy. Very scary.
Why is he scary?
He's scary, okay?
That's all
But
there is to-
why? Why do you think he's scary?
Because he's scary.
You're gonna have to elaborate, buddy.
I can't elaborate any more obvious.
Oh,
It's
it was
so
Golden
obvious.
talking. Okay.
No, it's not obvious to me. Fill me in.
Yeah.
His face. Just
His face is a meme. Okay, got it.
Hold on.
Exactly. I'm scared of memes.
So
That's why I
you're
support-
afraid of me.
I'm afraid of you, and I'm afraid of memes, and that's why I advocate the banning of memes by the EU, because I don't want anyone else to have any satisfaction.
Guys,
Humor
Yeah.
bad.
guys, try to keep it down. My mom is getting annoyed with me being too loud.
Oh, okay. I may be the brony here, but we don't need. But I know memes are cancerous.
Mayonnaise.
So J the magic robot said earlier, CR/K selection theory to explain what happens in the UK. I'm gonna have to look that up later.
I have no idea.
Like people being arrested for having trash bags in their own cars, or being arrested for not having a TV license.
France is
Do you
in
have a
riots.
license? Do you have a license for that foot of yours? I don't know.
Go, I just like my.
Do you have a license for your hands?
Yeah,
Did you guys talk about the French riots that are going on?
no, what's going on?
Do you have a license for that toaster?
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
basically the French riots that are going on, they're not Antifa or anything like that.
What's going on, dude?
They're wearing yellow vests, like the the workers vest.
Okay.
So it's just a
because-
bunch of workers going on riot or something?
No, they're not workers. Like in France, you have to wear a yellow vest, like in your car. Like it's required for you to have that vest, which is a stupid law, but it's what they have.
What the fuck?
And you have to wear it in an emergency setting. So they put on that vest, and they're going on riots. Like there's like 200 and something thousand people
Jesus.
rioting in France right now.
Mm.
And it's over gasoline prices because the French government increased taxes by an insane amount. It costs $8.10 per gallon in France.
Well, at least, gee, congratulations, you're doing what we did at the beginning of the revolution.
Exactly.
Finally.
But the problem is they're not a political entity.
What do you mean?
They don't have any. They don't have any teachings to back up their protests. It's just we want to lower the tax.
Yeah, but still, at least they have for once. Like people are starting to bitch about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Why
happening.
couldn't they notice the signs sooner?
$8.10 per gallon of gas.
Oh,
Imagine.
God. That's just
Okay, I found it. General Electric is crashing. The end of an empire. It was reported by the World Alternative Media.
Holy crap! So that I don't. So the government decided to just stop giving subsidies.
Don't know.
Or even with their subsidies, they still suck.
Or I can see it. There are people who mismanage the fucking resources so badly.
Even with the government propping them up, they can't live or can't last.
We're gonna leave a link in the chat. We're gonna leave a link in the Hangouts chat so that we can put it in the description later.
Yeah.
Okay, great idea.
But yeah, these guys have no political backing by the rioters.
I'm just happy that they're starting to bitch about it once.
It's
I don't care what their reason for it is. I'm just happy that they're complaining about it for once.
only towards government. It's not private, individual, or anything like that. It's just towards the fucking government. They're mad.
Well, yeah, good. Fucking fine.
Like,
Through a spot.
imagine paying $8 a gallon of gas.
Congratulations, people. Oh, you finally grew a fucking spine.
Whoa.
That's $80 if your tank can only hold 10 gallons.
Yeah, that is a lot.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Okay.
So glad I'm like,
that's
That's
crazy.
I want nothing to do with this. Nope.
What do you mean?
$160 if you hold if you have a 20-gallon tank. And the whole goal of this tax was for the environment.
Yeah, right.
Agenda 21. Agenda 21.
Yeah.
Environmentalism as a front. They want to get rid. The French want to get rid of cars and have their own transportation set up. And they probably want to do the stack and packs stuff too.
Okay, get your firearms ready.
They probably want to make it to where they're reliant on government transportation.
Yes, exactly.
yeah.
Without the government,
So-
how would we be dependent?
Yeah, pretty much.
Without the government, how can we? It's like without the government, how will we get one place to another? Have you ever heard of car? My car has been obsolete by government.
Oh my god.
Yeah, sorry, I do not want to rely on Indigo here. I'm sorry, I don't want that to happen.
You know what? Screw it. I'll just get a job within walking distance. I'd rather walk.
Basically.
I'd walk miles instead of paying that fucking price.
Yeah, she's crazy.
Yeah, I walked once I walked all the way from the south side to the north side in cold winter just to get to school because I did not want to pay like $60 for a 30-day pass.
You know, instead of rioting, they should have just done what they did with during the what Martin Luther King did with the whole bus boycott or whatever. They just walked and carpooled and everything.
Yeah, they should have made it to where, like, they should have carpooled, which is good for the environment.
Yeah, exactly.
Carpooled, not go onto the fucking buses because the buses are literal government trash. I don't give a shit what you say about those fucking buses. They're not for.
What about subways?
Subways, stay out the fuck from them, me too.
Well, they're not nearly as shitty as does it actually help the environment to take public transport or no?
No, it doesn't.
It does in a way, but it doesn't. It's like carpooling except mass. And sometimes, but like you don't need government to add mass transport. There's private buses everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Japan's a great example of that actually with the train system. I mean, most people in Japan walk. Most people in the urban parts of Japan walk anyway, and they don't really have a car, so they either ride a bike, or they get on the train, which will take them from one place to another. And it's all privately owned.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, without the government.
Snacks you. Not the government, who will make us dependent on them.
It would make us dependent on the government. Oh man. Pretty much the biggest meme ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically every statist argument in a nutshell. Without,
Yeah.
I feel like
without the government, how will we be dependent?
I feel like this world's becoming a meme.
Yeah.
Yeah, over
pretty much.
time.
The entire world is a fucking meme by now. Someone memed this. Just like, you guys want to know a meme?
The
Here's
world.
a meme. Just literally the world. Like, and it shows the populations.
Yeah. Anyway, General Electric's crashing brings to mind what we're going to need to do to prepare. I mean, if you're counting on communications being up, you're going to need cryptocurrencies or something like something to make transactions without it being taxed, because they're going to tax a lot to compensate for the loss of revenue.
Yeah, the way I see it is like if the crash happens, there may be an internet downfall. Like the internet might get shut down for a while.
Yeah,
And
in which case you might need some precious metals handy, and trade with those.
Yeah, you can't trade.
Yeah, I need to get out. I should have asked for silver for Christmas, damn it.
I want $50 worth of silver.
You know what? When I go to the mall next time, I'll just see if I gotta see if there's a place where there's. Oh, well, next time I'm out, I'll have to see if there's a place where I can buy silver.
Because if you also, you could probably use pennies. Because even if it's like even if it's government money, there's still metal in the pennies.
Yeah,
So
a
you
little bit
can
of copper.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Just a little bit.
The fact that it's copper it makes it valuable.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
at least. God damn it! If only I knew that, I'd hold on to my pennies.
Yeah.
So just
there's
collect
a little
pennies.
bit of copper, but
collect pennies because that'll help you out a little bit. I mean, I think people would trade with you for a little bit of copper.
All right.
Trade nickels because there's nickel and there's some nickel in that. Not a lot, but there's some.
That's the least valuable fiat currency. It's supposedly the least valuable fiat currency would be at least somewhat valuable.
Yeah.
We're in the crash.
yeah. If I may.
God, the irony.
And the thing about pennies is they're on their way out too. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they did say something about that. I mean, if they do that, the pennies will become a lot rarer, which means that there's going to be a bit more value to them.
Exactly.
All right, I'll have to save pennies.
You just have to hope they don't try to mass collect them and burn and melt them down, like they usually do with fucking previous currency.
Pennies, basically.
Well, if they do that, we'll probably trade in something that we would otherwise consume, like you read in the history books that Berlin, back when it was under the Soviet Union, or part of it anyway, they used cigarettes to trade because the currency that wasn't used was practically worthless. So, and yeah, it's pretty embarrassing for a socialist economy when a cigarette is more valuable than its own currency.
Exactly. That's why cigarettes are a good thing to probably stockpile and keep from your hoarding mother or something like that. He was going to smoke.
I don't smoke, so they'll probably think they won't like that if they see that I have cigarettes. So
just tell them that you're not going to smoke them. They're just for something in case of emergency.
Well,
yeah, have something to trade with that will retain value.
Yeah, it doesn't. Crypto can be. In reality, crypto can be anything. It doesn't have to be fucking on digital. It could be anything of remote value. Like I could probably trade this machete for something, even though it's dull, but you could probably a guy who knows how to do something could sharpen it. So that could get me something like water or food.
What about paper? Was that going to be valuable at all? Because I have a shit ton.
For toilet paper.
Just paper at all, dude.
Yeah, toilet paper.
Yeah, but paper itself.
I think there would still be some value in paper, like, need something to write on.
You need to
Maybe.
fuel as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuel.
Just be willing to trade anything that's useless, but not too useless.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fun.
Because that's basically how economies work. I mean, a cigarette's practically useless in its own right, but it's still useful as a luxury item. So,
let's see.
a lot of post-apocalyptic. Just like when you think of economies after a collapse, think of post-apocalyptic economy.
Jesus Christ.
So, who knows? We might even trade with bottle caps, like in Fallout.
So basically, for actual fiat currency, hold on to pennies and nickels. You said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pennies, nickels, quarters, anything that's metal.
Right.
If you find a gold coin, you are fucking lucky.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Golden. What you said about silver reminds me. If you, I do have a silver eagle. So if nothing else, I could probably use that for something.
You can. I think you could. The silver eagle is definitely, it's silver, so.
Oh, and I forgot to buy seeds. Shit.
Also, whenever you do trade with people, it may not be good to lie to say that it's like inherently copper or something like that. But
say that it's copper.
Just say that it's copper. It may not be ethical to do so, but it's just if you're really in a need to bind and you're like, struggling, say that it's copper. Like melt down the coins before you do it, though.
What was I gonna say? Shit, I forgot. How long would the economic crash last for, anyways?
That's something I don't really know. It could last from a year, few months to a year to probably longer. It could be expect like apocalyptic scenarios.
God.
Not like
Boy.
not like nuclear apocalypse or anything. Just like think like zombie apocalypse without the zombies.
Oh God.
In your head, zombie.
Yeah, so dealing with that situation then.
Yeah, it's just zombie apocalypse without the zombies, and there's it's going to be like the Great Depression as well.
Oh me.
Yeah.
On a massive scale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. On the plus side, if communications do come back up during that time, we'll be able to trade in digital cryptocurrencies to some extent. Because
when communication
still be there.
When communication comes back if communication comes back on, that's going to immediately basically bring up the ANCAP market because everyone's going to be trading on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's all you. Instead of like random info bits, it'd be random ads for like come buy this now. Like instead of like what you see on YouTube and stuff, it would be a lot of ads. YouTube would literally be ads, but they're not ads by corporations or anything. They're ads by people.
Right now I'm hiding my ramen noodles.
Yeah, hide your ramen noodles because in prison those are used as currency. So
For real?
Yeah, they use ramen noodles as a currency. Because no one can get real food.
God.
They supplement it with ramen.
Yeah, I had some of the ramen, but we're running low. I probably should go down and sneak some more into my room.
Well, if you if you add some vegetables or something to it and use tomato soup instead of water for your ramen, you'll be able to make something more tolerable.
Mm-hmm. I
What?
just stick with water. It will keep I think in a survival situation, it will keep you alive just for the sheer fact that you'll feel full. But as soon as you do feel full, you gotta go out and find something better, like immediately.
So, guys, should I learn? I should start.
Yeah, because just eating that alone, you'll eventually might get sick or something.
No, you'll die of malnutrition.
So, guys, I should
Yeah,
start.
basically. That's why I suggested adding vegetables to it.
Yeah. Yeah, Koi Monster?
Start planting things, like seeds. What's something that lasts all year round and I can grow in my house?
I think most forms of corn.
Corn.
Yeah, probably
Basically,
potatoes too.
Oh, right, potatoes.
Potatoes.
Yeah, those
potatoes.
could be grown. Those could be grown in your backyard underground. They don't really
Tomatoes.
need much maintenance.
Yeah, tomatoes as well, if you can.
So I can grow them in winter as well. Then potatoes.
Potatoes.
If you have a greenhouse, probably.
Oh, I don't have a greenhouse.
Yeah,
But-
stick to the potatoes then.
Yeah, potatoes.
I got a little bun in my game.
Potatoes are very hardy. They'll keep you alive,
Yeah.
just like in communist Russia.
In communist Russia, all the potatoes eat you.
Guys, what about booze?
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not an expert on the on collapse economies or anything, but I just play a lot of Fallout shit.
What about booze?
Yeah, alcoholic beverages are probably gonna be viable too. For their.
Oh yeah, if you can get a distill going, you could probably make if you make moonshine, you could probably sell it like on a per 10-ounce basis, like a per cup basis.
Yeah, also wine. I mean, it's used in communion a lot, so if you were able to make that rather efficiently, you would have to wait. You would have to wait a number of years for it to ferment and actually be just right. But if you can make that and sell it to people that either want to drink it for recreation or
Just make
use it in
vodka
communion,
with the
you could
potatoes.
probably make a killing.
So wait,
Make vodka. Make vodka with the potatoes if you could make potatoes.
guys, I don't know. Where should I start though? Should I start like hoarding my ramen noodles?
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
Do it.
Go take care of that then.
Hoard your ramen noodles,
Yes.
Koi Monster.
Yeah, anything to add about what I said about the wine, Golden Dash?
Instead of waiting years for wine, you can probably just make vodka, which would only take days to make, and that's used with potatoes. But if you do make, but that would probably be the cheaper thing. Like I doubt people would trade you much for it because they could probably make it themselves.
Right.
But they would probably still trade for it. Now I don't know how to exactly make vodka, but
Me neither.
But I think you could probably find something to make it.
Yeah, I would use the potatoes as a staple.
Yeah, as some sort of as a food, as an alcohol making, as basically everything. It could be everything.
Yeah, vodka's too strong for me.
Yeah, I know it's too strong for you, but not too strong to the burly man who in the coat trading furs.
What? You're questioning my manliness?
No, I'm not.
I'm teasing you.
I couldn't.
I know.
Sadly, I couldn't sneak the ramen up here. My mom was in the kitchen.
And if you have like any fun-sized candies that you know aren't going to spoil a long time,
It's not gonna
save those.
Well, what's not gonna spoil for candy?
Well, like M&Ms, I think.
Okay, so get M&Ms.
Yeah, because that's also like fun size M&Ms. You could probably like just imagine a situation where, say, you need, I don't know, some real food. You can probably trade it to like another family, like who has like a kid or something.
Yeah.
And they'll probably give you like I don't know, potatoes or a tomato or something like that in exchange for fun size candy.
Mm.
Yeah, something for the kid to enjoy.
Yeah. Because it's also because just because you're in a bad situation doesn't mean you don't want to get anything for the kids.
Yeah. It's another bad day for mining.
Crip, you see socialists who are probably watching this, probably not. Anything can be used for a form of trade.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just a matter on its utility, durability, and how long it lasts.
Yeah, basically. You could probably trade some beans for something too. I mean, if somebody has the
Cans of
time to
beans,
boil
yeah.
the beans, they'll probably trade you something for it.
Exactly. Cans of beans also work too.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
the dry beans
work too.
Yeah, the dry beans are going to be plentiful. I mean, they're easy to grow and they're cheap, but they're not so plentiful that they're going to be. But they're not so plentiful that they'll be worthless. You're going to get some utility. It's going to have some value due to the fact that it's not overabundant.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt it will be a currency because people could literally have like bean farms, but I think it'll definitely be used as something. Used to trade other people like packs of beans for like, I don't know, clothing.
Yeah. Could
Yeah.
be possible.
Also, the best when you get like basic survival down, we're going to have to like find a server, like a place where they have server for the internet.
Oh, okay.
Or some sort of Hey, Malum.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey,
Hello.
how's it going?
Okay.
Hey, dude.
Pretty good. Having
We're just
interesting conversations about.
Yeah, we're just talking.
About
Sorry.
My dog's chill this time.
the
So I have a question for you guys. You know that song from Michael Jackson where he's talking about saving the world and making it a better place?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. Yeah, I know that song.
Yeah. Here's what I'm thinking. I want to submit this to Weird Al Yankovic.
What?
What?
Kill the earth, make it a barren place where no life can see, hear, touch, smell, or even taste.
God.
Yes.
That's terrifying.
That'll be. It could be like a scary Halloween thing for him.
No. Just the standard thing. Like 4th of July would be perfect. Just
Yes.
have him dressed up. Just have him dressed up as an army tank commander, and he's just going around blowing places up with nukes and shit. Just be like, kill the world, make it a better place or barren place. Fuck.
No.
Well, it's still a better place if you want to talk. If you want to talk about the ANCOM's point of view, but
Yeah. Oh, God.
So
I'd
Malum,
rather not go that far.
we're talking about like what we could trade in out if the collapse happens, or when
Can
the
I trade in?
collapse happens. Probably. If you have like a Michael Jackson mixtape, I bet you they'll trade something for it.
Come on, little boy. I mean, girl. Don't you know
Oh
that
my
you're my
God.
world?
I love that freaking Eminem song.
No, right?
Yeah.
And you could probably trade
Take you to
pencils
Neverland.
No.
God, that's terrible.
Yeah, you could probably trade pencils for something because they're going to be pretty useful, and
As
somebody's
well as
going to want it to
paper.
write something down with.
As well as paper. Yeah, there's
I
things-
don't know about pencils. How about pens would work as well.
So,
How are you going to erase with
Moving-
them though?
You don't.
moving on, I can see people that do canning right now Like basically, if we look at the Doomsday Prepper scenario, I think they're probably the best. Anybody who's watched Doomsday Preppers and likes it, hell yeah, I'm one of you motherfuckers. But essentially, yeah, if you start canning food now, in the beginning, you can practically get whatever the fuck you want for food, with food. So if you have enough food to survive, you could probably trade food. The only problem is whatever you trade with means that you have surplus of, and to somebody that's desperate enough, it's going to mean like, oh, this guy has what we need. So ammunition, of course, is going to be one of those items that you want to be able to trade in. Firearms, so anybody that has a 3D printer, you know, the Liberty,
Metal
Liberator. Yeah, metal 3D printer most of all. But the key thing is, yeah, if you have 3D printers of any kind, metal and plastic, I would suggest you have both if you can afford it. And then you have a reliable post-collapse power supply, because we're looking at food is going to be gone, water's going to be gone, so you better have a sustainable off-grid system. Basically, if you have to pay a bill to anything, you're probably screwed. And if it runs on electricity and you are not self-reliant on the electricity part, you're screwed.
Well, another thing is we should also try to take about the people who don't have any of that, like how they could effectively trade with the other people, with other people, and
Well, labor for one. Like basically, people are going to be with people that have, and one of the things they mentioned in one of the episodes was the haves versus the have-nots. So one of the things they're gonna probably want, if they don't have an ample supply of it already, is security. So you could trade your the ability to secure the plot of property for as a form of labor for, you know, sustenance or whatever that you can essentially trade with. Basically, as long as they don't become, you know, the new king in your life, essentially you're able to build whatever you want in the little corner that they give you.
Yeah,
whatever you make, you can trade with later.
Yeah, and another idea I was also thinking is, like, you know, candy, like M&Ms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, could be like, you could probably get the fun size ones and probably use that to like after the collapse is like whenever you meet like a family or something with a kid, you could probably give that to trade something with that, because I know that no one's just going to ignore the kid. Like, they're not just going to immediately ignore kids.
Well, if they're after food, they will pick food over candy first and foremost.
Of course.
That's something where on a personal note, I'd probably just give the kid some candy just to brighten his day, because you don't know if the kid's going to live.
Well,
at this point, you're just looking at trying to keep yourself alive, but candy is not necessary to keeping yourself alive. All it is a morale booster. Although parents might do it for that sole purpose, but I doubt it.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I would say don't waste your money on fun pack sized M&Ms. That's just, in my opinion, that's a waste of money.
Yeah, but you could use that for food, though.
Yeah, greater amounts
of
food,
that
in
yourself.
fact.
Yeah.
Well, for a 50-pound bag of rice and a bag of those fun-sized pack M&Ms, I think costs the same amount. In my opinion, I'd rather have the bag of rice, because basically a half cup of rice is enough to feed me for an entire day. Same with everybody else. At that point, it becomes a matter of logistics. You don't want to just because you want to help, or just because you want to have a high trade value item, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a high trade value. Trick or treat, yeah, sure, it might be high trade value, but especially if somebody gave the kid apples.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they're going to want somebody for labor for security, I'm gonna need. Yeah, then you're probably gonna be pretty valuable in the regard, since you can actually train them on the combat aspect, or at least the fitness part.
Keep in mind, I got arthritis from that, so I'm basically at the obese level right now. I can still run for some reason, even though I'm a fat guy. I can still run. I can outrun most people. I don't know why, but I'm like freaking Super Mario, except I can't jump. Wild boys can't jump. So,
Super Mario Brothers.
Another cool thing to like trade in would be like a parachute cord.
Tarps.
I mean, tarps, things like that.
Yep.
That'd be a good idea to like get some of that. So that's like a decently valued trade item probably post collapse.
Yeah, and this is stuff. Yeah, and this is stuff you want to stock on now before the collapse because everybody's going to be raiding the stores. Last thing you want to be the guy that scavenges through the stores for material rather than supplies. Everything that everybody figures like, oh shoot, this isn't food. Oh, this isn't camping gear. Oh, this isn't raw resource has its use. So for a life hacker, as they like to, or a MacGyver, in my era, God, I feel old. Yeah, so a MacGyver in my era, life hacker in these days, Jerry Rigger in my grandparents' day and age. Basically, if you can take something and make something new out of it, you're golden for going into like the shelving units. You can turn that into a barrier if you need to. You could essentially take Walmart, the husk of Walmart. Let's say everybody took every product out of Walmart. You still have copper pipes, you still have steel pipes, you still have PVC pipes, and PVC pipes can be used to make a generator of sort. I just can't remember how. Including the copper pipes and the steel pipes. It's just it's a rudimentary generator. It's more like having a dynamo. Basically, you can just scavenge the entire store, even down to the bricks if you need be. Or you could turn the place into a base of operations. You use all the shelving units and basically plug off the doors. There's a whole lot you can do. And that's just with like the shelving units alone.
You could use the shelving units. Can you move them around?
Yeah, you can.
So that means you can probably move them to block doors, exits.
Yeah. Unless for some reason somebody decided to bolt them down, in which case you just need a bolt, something to pry them loose or screw them unloose or whatever, unbolt them to the floor. And usually they're not bolted. Usually they're not bolted because on occasion, like once a year, the cleaning crew has to basically, or sometimes it's every 3 years. It depends on the store and the manager. Sometimes they'll just basically move the stuff off to the side and just scrub everything clear. Every rack has a use. You can if you know how to make a fire, you can melt down the metal that's in the racks. Just if it's got plastic, keep the away.
Treat the world like fucking Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly. The world is Minecraft. All these do-it-yourself video games, they're great. All these survival video games, they're great. They're teaching you how to try and figure stuff out for yourself. If there's one thing I really like, it's these video games that teach you how to survive on your own. The Last of Us, the one game I'm still trying to get a hold of, like The Last of Us is freaking epic. But The Division, Tom Clancy's The Division, in which a virus was leaked on New York City, and they basically, if any of you guys are in New York City, get out. The terrorists are going to leak the virus. Anyway, it's amazing. But basically, it's a sleeper cell organization designed to figure out who did it and whatnot. I don't know the full. I've never played the game. I've only read snippets.
The Last of Us 2 is coming out, and that's going to be fucking badass.
Oh, I love man. If any of you have not played The Last of Us, this should be on the top of your bucket list. Like this above all else. If you're a video gamer, play The Last of Us.
The Last of Us 2 is going to actually be a lot more realistic because I saw the trailer and the movement was so fucking realistic. Like when you get shot, you actually like hold on your arm and shit. Like it's not just
wait.
Like you get shot, you hold on to your arm, you're running away from the creature. I mean, of course, it's going to be more action-packed than what it would be in real life, but that's just the fucking game.
Well, see, realistic and not unrealistic. If you get shot unexpectedly, you're going to go into shock. You're not going to pay attention to your arm. If you know that you're in a combat zone and it basically just buzzes you, you're not going to notice. There have been Marines that have had their shoulders shot off. There have been Marines that have had their foot pretty much destroyed, but they still kept running and walking until after the fight was done, and then realized, every time they took a step, it looked like like stepping on a sponge filled with red ink. So it's adrenaline is a freaking awesome drug. You don't realize if you don't realize it happened, if you didn't see it happening, and you can't see bullets, not without with a special kind of scope and knowing what to look for, like a spotter. If you can't do that, then you're not gonna. Then chances are you're actually gonna miss it. So these hyper realism, like, oh, I cut myself with a piece of paper while walking, or cut myself on a blade of sawgrass. Yeah, if you're a pansy that pays attention to that, then yeah, you're gonna be pretty damn quick to die. But if you actually got shot in a certain area, more likely than not, you're gonna end up slipping into shock. You're going to panic, slip into shock, and die. One of the ditties that I was taught from when I signed up for the Marines was basically treat for shock, which means you basically just talk to the guy. You keep them thinking. If you stay quiet, you let them drift off into their own mind, they'll slip into shock. The key thing, and the reason why all paramedics and everybody does this with a major wound, is to keep the person talking. Because if they slip into shock, they have a higher chance of death. So, yeah.
So that's a good note if any of us get shot during the collapse. Oh, man. It's not funny, but it's fucking... I don't know. I'm just a sucker for dark humor.
I'd just be like, you shot me, bitch!
Kind of reminded me of Red.
What's the use of thinking? And watch all the Star Wars fanboys just rage in 3, 2, 1. No Reese? Not even from you, Revan? Wow.
Why would the Star Wars fanboys be angry?
So
I was just going Ray for the giggles.
So yeah, in the Last of Us 2 trailer, the girl gets like hit in the face with like some sort of bat, and she survives, but it's just really like it makes her bleed and it stays like that, and it was in gameplay. It wasn't in like a cutscene or anything. It was in gameplay. She was like holding her face because it was like hurt, and like she hits like the bow and arrows. They don't instantly kill you like they usually do in most video games. Like it actually shows them going inside, and she got hit by a bow, and like it got inside her shoulder, and she just broke the arrow off. Didn't pull it out though. Just broke the arrow off.
I'm a woman, motherfucker. Hear me roar.
Yeah. So I think they definitely did a realistic approach to the whole post-apocalyptic series in that game.
That sounds awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
And it's like the gun, and like they used the gun sparingly. Like they have them, they shot at her, but it was only because they're actually after her. Because
that's the way the game. That's the way the first game was too. If you decided to just go shooting, guns blazing, you ran out of ammunition pretty quick, which is like pretty accurate with what you're probably going to be expecting in a real world scenario, in a real world disaster. Like the cities are going to be, like everybody says this all the time, but the cities are going to be the first to fall.
Yes.
So, and that's because they all rely on the 3-day food shelf system. Once people realize, the food and water's gone, what do you think they're going to do?
Riot.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, it's not going to be like Fallout where bullets are everywhere. The only reason why I think bullets are everywhere in Fallout is because they have literal vending machines for ammunition everywhere.
Look up, I think it's 50 AD, Jerusalem. Look up any of the horror stories of people who managed to escape North Korea. Okay. If you want to know what people are going to be like. Starting with Jerusalem, I'm going to start with probably one of the first. Women roasted their babies one at a time and fed them to one another. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. The young are gonna die.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Yep. anything to survive. And sadly, if you don't prepare now, say goodbye to your kids. If somebody catches your kid, if your kid goes missing and you can't find them ASAP, they're probably dinner.
Or just, I mean, I don't think everyone immediately resort. Like, I know they'll resort.
No, not
to
immediately.
cannibalism.
No, not immediately. That's like a few weeks in.
Oh, God.
When everybody's that hungry, that's a few. We're talking 3 weeks in, because 2 to 3 weeks in, where people are starving en masse. At that point, they'll just kill one of their own if they have to. But if they find somebody who's not one of their own, they'll kill them. The gangs will take control of the food supply, which means distribution centers should be your number one target, not the grocery stores. If you know where a distribution center is, get there ASAP if your plan is to raid, because that's where you're going to find the greatest amount of supplies. And I'm not condoning this, by the way. I'm an ANCAP. That's basically a violation of self-owner, that whole spiel. But I'm saying, like, if you're that damn desperate and you can't, and you don't have anything to trade for, like, if you're going to do it anyway, just, at least hit the distribution center. Unfortunately, then the tragedy of the commons is going to come along, because everybody's going to be after that afterwards. But the key thing is the gangs will go there first. The gangs will become the new power structure. So anything necessary, that's where if a kid goes missing, it's probably something worse.
And this is where a lot of minarchists try to say, like, they try to use the point that, oh, not everyone's going to follow your principles idea. We don't think they will.
Yeah. That's the key thing. We know they won't.
We know they won't, and we're not going to force them to follow them. But we're not going to condone it at all.
See, here's the typical rule of humanity. You have the 80%ers, you have the upper 10%, and the lower 10%. The upper 10%, irregardless, and this is an hierarchy system. Yes, we know ANCOMs. But it's a natural instinct within human beings. Somebody is always going to follow somebody else. If the weaker are always going to follow the stronger, the dumber are always going to follow the smarter. Only in a socialist system do you see it happen. In a pure democracy, not socialism, do you usually end up seeing it happen the other way around. Slower following the faster. The point is that somebody's going to end up leading somebody, whether they intend to or not. Just because the wiser are going to always end up leading the unwise. The point is that 8% are always going to follow the upper 10%, and the lower 10% are never going to follow the upper 10%. Sometimes the upper 10% are the lower 10%. In other words, the bad, when I'm talking about upper and lower, I'm talking about the leaders being the upper 10% and the good people being upper 10%. The 80% people, they'll just follow whoever.
They don't care.
Yeah, essentially.
They don't.
And the lower 10% are... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
The lower 10% are the bad people, then the higher 10% are the good people.
Malum, can you turn your end down? I don't know what it is, but you're like really loud and it hurts my ears.
Oh, sorry. Here, is that better?
No.
It's a... and they go, this is why anarchy won't work. And it's just like, no.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, I just had to put my thumb on it.
Please stop shouting.
Sorry.
I'm not.
Not just you, Pone. Oh, why are my ears so sensitive?
So one of every like a lot of statists point out to they like to say this is why anarchy won't work, and it's just like it's about trying to rebuild after the chaos. You can't have. It's not about
Yeah, chaos and anarchy are two different things.
Exactly.
No, they're not. Anarchy's a synonym for chaos.
That's what government... no, that's what government tells you. No, hold on. Let me re-voice that. No. Okay, who can do that super nerd voice? I can't. It's like the one Adam Savage does whenever he wants to play nerd.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was cold.
Which was discount?
Yeah, that. Exactly.
That's what the government tells you.
That's what the government tells you.
That's what the government tells you.
Derps. Government.
Oh, excuse me.
You guys just want. You guys want this. They're probably gonna blame all the fucking all the happenings on anarchists.
Why?
Probably more likely than not, and caps. We
Yeah.
know that this shit's is going to happen. We've been telling people for years this shit's going to happen. And if you look at some of the videos, like I'm trying to remember the guy's name, but it was suggested in one of my YouTube lists, and it was that Austrian anarchists and ANCAPs are a bunch of fucking idiots, and that we didn't predict the or well, I wasn't in ANCAP until well after, but basically the 2008 housing crash, which was predictable, it was shown in our model, and I can't remember who it was, but he essentially said, yeah, these bills are going to cause a collapse. It was an interview, and the guy was an Austrian economist, but because he was an Austrian economist, he was dismissed. But neo-Keynesians, they got it right.
No. Yeah, they said, oh, there's not going to be a housing collapse.
Yeah, everybody else. So two branches, neo-Keynesianism and whatever they are now, and the Austrian economists. They're the ones that predicted the housing collapse. I don't know anything about neo-Keynesians, but essentially we predicted the economic collapse. What happened? It happened. And what happened after that? They said neo-Keynesians were correct, but Austrians were not. Why do you think? And they will acknowledge that ANCAPs pretty much adore Austrian economics.
Yeah.
But I think it's because we're ANCAPs that, I mean, this might be conspiracy theory or conjecture or whatever, but essentially, I think it's because ANCAPs love Austrian economics, which basically says that, yeah, the less government that's involved, the more free the economy is. And and that government and all these regulations and rules and crap are the reason why we have these collapses. And I think it's because they worship the state so freaking hard that they cannot allow Austrian economics to be right.
If they're right, then they're wrong, and they don't want that to happen.
Yeah. Well, it's not so much they can handle being wrong. They just can't handle anarchists being right. Because then it means everything they believe on. It'd be like if all of a sudden we Christians found out that the Lord Jesus Christ was actually the beast whose goal is to set upon the destruction of the world. I mean, imagine that for us Christians. Imagine that. Imagine if it turns out that Allah, for those that are Islamic, turned out to be the devil himself. What you get the idea? It's like, what if everything was literally went topsy-turvy? I mean, it's the destruction of your entire perceived reality. So exactly. We're talking about the red pill, blue pill concept as featured in not even the black pill. We're talking about strictly, it'd be like freaking Matrix on us. We see the world the way it is in the Matrix before Neo becomes Neo, and then boom.
Yeah.
We find out that the world has actually gone to hell, and there's a 1,000-year storm going on.
So wait. What are you're gonna have to? I mean, we're gonna have weapons and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, get me out of here.
Oh shit! Am I too loud again?
Oh, it's fine.
Oh
no,
shit!
It's just that one of the worst things that could possibly be when this happens. Well, not a huge thing, but still.
I don't know what I just did. I just got myself kicked. Alrighty, I joined this conversation. Enter the video call. Yay! There we go.
Yay!
Cool. We actually heard that.
How much do you think popcorn would go on the
Should I get a bike?
Collapse market?
Should I get a bike?
Bike sounds cool.
Because I want a bike.
Yeah. Koi Monster wants a bike.
Please
wants the bike?
Oh. So can I buy a bike?
Oh, you mean like an actual... Oh, yeah. Buying a bike. I'm not sure how that would work after the collapse. I think it would be a good idea. Beforehand. Yeah. I mean, I know beforehand, but I'm thinking I'm not sure if it would be a good idea or not. It would be a good idea for a while. because you get to be able to go places further than just walking, and you can probably store some things on the bike.
Yeah.
And
If you have a
exercise.
backpack.
Yeah.
I'm confused. What's going on now?
You like get a basket for the bike, and you could probably store like small items on there.
It'd be a bit more practical if you got a rack on the rear of the bike and then put some rack bags that you can. I forget what they're called exactly, but you can attach them to the rack, mount them on the rack, and you'll be able to store a bit more or that way on your bicycle.
Yeah, definitely. It's
Me,
definitely working.
Yeah, I just wear my backpacks on my back since I can handle that.
A bit nice big backpack that my sister used for travel. Oh, I have that.
Also, carry a weapon with you at all times too.
Mm-hmm.
Like hey Malum, when the collapse happens, carry a weapon on you at all times.
I don't have any.
Do you have a baseball bat?
I think so. On the porch, maybe. I'm not sure.
Then take
I'm
that
not sure
when
if
you.
they're all that portable.
They're not portable, no, but they're still useful, and they're and they can be very deadly. I have a metal one.
All right, I think I do have a metal one. So.
Oh, and if you have and if you can get like a double-barreled shotgun, you can.
Be able to happen.
Huh?
Hey, Toy Monster.
Yeah.
I found out why everybody's
You're very quiet, Malum.
That's all I heard.
Yeah, I'm doing that to save Koi Monster's hearing. I've got my thumb on the mic.
Oh.
So Koi Monster, if you turn off your screen temporarily, I see the mouse head, or the pointer on your screen, meaning that you've got your computer screen up. I think that's why everybody. There we go. Okay, go ahead and somebody talk.
Hello.
No.
Okay, yeah. So everybody's not botting anymore.
Yay.
Crap. So, yeah, it's something I found out. Large scale things and video chats don't work. Okay, now what were we talking about again? Because I couldn't hear over all the botting.
Weaponry to grab for the collapse.
You want something melee, you need something for hunting for sure, and something for fighting. I would say the best system to incorporate is probably along the lines of a 3-gun system. But when I say 3-gun system, you want to trade the AR-15 assault rifle type platform from a 5.56 to a 7.62, either the AK style rifle round or probably a 7.62 by 51 millimeter NATO standard, i.e. the 308 by those that are more familiar with calibers. The reasoning behind that is you need something that you can hunt with at extended ranges as well. You want to probably involve something that is battle rifle oriented, but accurate enough to use as a hunting rifle. Things like a G3 and FAL, the SCAR 17, 17S, things of that nature. The reasoning behind this is that, especially if it has a folding stock, because at least then it becomes a general purpose rifle. You can do close quarters combat and search a house or something like that if it turns out to be like a lot of dead people kind of thing, like, you know, going through
people in like the cities and stuff, like Koi Monster and stuff like that. I'm thinking like,
Not in like
what could she do to get like a cheap way to protect herself without having to
what do you have in your room?
I don't
in that case, you're probably looking at MacGyvering.
MacGyvering. Yeah.
I have a box cutter.
A box cutter.
That's it.
Okay.
Better than nothing.
And a knife, which is similar.
How about a wooden broomstick? Like getting a wooden broom would help for one.
I have a wooden broom, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, what kind of knives do you have? Do you know how to do you have a hammer and punch?
Hammer and what?
Hammer and punch. Basically, it's this little metal tool that that's designed to punch pins or pins out.
I think I don't know.
Okay. I would say go for typical hand tools. A crowbar is pretty useful. It's pretty heavy, but if you can, I'd say buy a crubble because it can be used as a tool and a weapon.
I don't know how much a Crovel is. It's on my wish list though. Otherwise, I'm thinking like a broom handle, and you're probably gonna have to figure out a way to go Dead Island on it. So
I think I have
Left for Dead on it.
I hope my parents kept my sister's bow and arrow that they got her once. So
Oh, definitely
would
take
work.
that.
yeah,
That would work.
that'd be good.
And you can make the arrows pretty easily. Just I don't even think you need fletching. That's just mainly to keep the arrow steady. But for short range, you could probably like sharpen just fletching for the arrow.
What is
It's
that?
the feathers at the end.
An arrow for a bow and arrow.
What does he say that was for? Yeah, what did you say that did?
Like kept the arrow steady.
Keeps it going straight and far.
Yeah, straight. Fletching on an arrow would keep it going.
If you don't have the fletching, actually the fletching isn't even that. Fletching the part that goes on the string connects to this
Okay.
thing. That's
Oh, I'm
fletching
talking like the feathers. Yeah.
If you didn't have those, you wouldn't be able to shoot it. You wouldn't be able to go straight side.
The huge problem is though that my parents are extremely statist, so
Yeah.
I would say your best option is: do you have kitchen knives? Do you
Yeah.
have duct tape, and do you have a good wooden broom handle or something? Wood.
yeah. Now you're really quiet, dude. I can barely hear what you're saying.
Alrighty. I'm not deafening it. You, am I?
No.
Alrighty. So what you're probably going to want to do is a broom handle that's wooden or something thick and wooden.
Yeah.
You're going to want to use duct tape and some kitchen knives. Now, what I'm thinking of is, have you ever seen the obsidian sword? I can't remember the exact name. Basically,
like
all it is
spear.
yeah, it's not even a makeshift spear. Basically, a makeshift spear. If you lose one knife, you're screwed. In this case, what I'm talking about is you're taping a bunch of knives onto two sides of this same wooden pole.
Okay.
So it's like a big ass sword.
Okay.
This way, even if you lose one knife, you have a bunch of others in its place.
Ooh. Actually sounds badass. Buster. All right, that's my dog.
It's not the atlatl. Not the kutsa. No. Makuhito. I think it's the Makuhito. I don't remember if it's the actual name, but I think it's the Makuhito. Something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. But basically, all it is this big ass wooden club where they take some gummy substance and then they put obsidian shards on the inside of it. Those shards are super sharp, and not only that, when you take a swing at somebody, they break off inside the person's cut or inside the cut that they make, and essentially every time they move, it just cuts them and lacerates them even more. I'm very knowledgeable on how to kill people.
Yes, you are.
Because you were a Marine, right?
That was before I even decided to become a Marine. When I was little, all other little kids wanted to be a fireman or a policeman or a doctor. I wanted to be the super ninja assassin spy. I wanted to be the person that they sent the fireman, the policeman, and the doctor after, especially his mess. And people say that we're pussies. So I signed up for the Marines to learn how to kill.
Oh wow!
Are you guys going to No, actually, never mind.
So yeah, I think Boy Monster, with a little bit of MacGyvering, you should be able to do fine with weaponry.
Right.
Yep.
Just what I would say is keep it simple. Like not like if all else fails, find something simple to rely back onto, like a baseball bat or like a good broom handle.
Assuming they haven't gone Great Britain on you with regards to that.
Yeah.
Ban all bats.
I don't know. Parents are gonna be super like, oh, no defending yourself when the crash happens.
They're gonna be like, we're not gonna beat people with bats. We're just gonna let them beat us with bats.
Yeah, I know. Well, we're not gonna hit them in the head. I'll just kneecap them.
Kneecap them.
I would suggest you learn a little bit of Eskrima knife fighting. And the reason behind that is because, especially with regards to the what's it called? The tiger claw thing. Kukri. No, not the kukri. That's
I have no idea if bronze.
karambit.
The
karambit. Yeah, look up karambit knife fighting. It teaches you where to strike for disabling an opponent. When you know where to strike, essentially you can take the most muscular man and make it where he can't even walk just by a couple of cuts.
All right, send me some links to that stuff.
Yeah, send some
Hit
links,
him,
please.
hit him in the
right.
hit him the Achilles tendon. He'll never.
Well, that too. That's one of them. But no, this is one where you hit him like just above the knee, like lower thigh, just above the knee. There's a bunch of areas. If you cut specific muscles, they can't work anything, and they literally they're stuck. They can't move.
This is how you get demonetized.
Yeah, I know. Oh, speaking of, I used a little bit of Dimok on one of my friends. So those of you who don't know what Dimok is, it's a Chinese martial art that literally translates into English called Death Touch. Well, Dimok itself as a martial art is not all about killing, but basically it uses a heavy dose of pressure points by attacking specific pressure points. You hit a person on a big toe. Here's an example. Have you ever stubbed your big toe and then basically you can't do anything except, jump on your foot or something like that? Like it becomes painful to walk, awkward to walk. That's a pressure point right there. If you feel along your jawline, trying to feel the bone, you will find a little divot about an inch from the front of your chin. That there is known as the glass jaw. That there is a pressure point. If you hit a person the right way, your knuckle is basically the key. That there's the lock, and you just knock their ass out. Hence the term why it's called a glass jaw in a boxing environment. You hit the person right there the right way, you knock them out. There's a point. All you got to do is flex your make a fist, let it go. Make a fist, let it go. You watch your arm on your forearm, and you will find a spot that just raises. You find a spot that just raises and lets go. Well, if you hit this spot while their hand is clenched, you can force their hand open if you hit it the right way. At the same time, you can even send like a really painful sharp. Yeah, a sharp pain up and down the spine or arm, not spine, arm. There's a lot you can do. But I practiced the arm trick on one of my friends just to freak her out. She was just like her arm. She had arthritis in either her elbow or her wrist. Not arthritis, but basically it was hurting her for some reason, and she's never had it before. She started flexing her hand. I'm looking at her muscle. I just go boop, and it sent a sharp pain down her upper arm. So I'm a dick when I want to be. And God damn, she's strong. The farm girls are freaking strong. Never ever hurt a farm girl. They will hurt you back.
They will hurt you back. Oh man.
So don't hurt a farm girl. I was just fucking around with her and just hit one little pressure point and just bam, nearly knocks the wind out of me with the palm thrust.
I'm back.
Another idea. This one's going to sound morbid. I know you guys are going to recoil at this. Maybe get like a dog or something. Not eat your kids, but get like a dog or something. So that way, if things get like really bad, no. Maybe
Native American puppy soup.
Lost my dog.
Oh,
Guys, are you listening? We lost a dog that we had already like a year, maybe not even a year ago. So
sorry about that.
Yeah, it's been a year. So he's a little like corgi, so he wouldn't be able to defend us much except maybe like chomping at their ankles. But yeah, there's no way in hell we're getting another dog for a long time.
I think he's referring to sustenance.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to eat that, but if I have to resort to that.
I know it's morbid, it's bad, and I wouldn't want to do it at all because I fucking love pets. But
well, in Venezuela, they're dog and cat free. I think they don't even have pest problems anymore.
Oh god.
Oh no, they don't. What?
It's terrible.
yeah.
Oh god.
So I know it sounds morbid, but like, if you can get like if we got like dogs, that would probably be like the new cattle of the
puppy scallion soup.
Guys.
What?
No.
Bit of a mouse problem.
Oh yeah.
We have a bit of a mouse problem as well.
Oh, also get like cats and stuff. Like, and if that cat will get loyal, that will bring you food.
I have a cat that's old.
The cat will be hunted though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cat will be hunted. The cat will be hunted, but if like it can bring back like it could probably bring back rats and stuff like that. So
Do you think it's gonna bring back a rat when it's starving too?
probably not, but if you feed the cat, it will probably bring back things like.
You're listening to a word I'm saying. Jesus Christ.
No, I
know,
can't. Okay,
I'm a horrible.
hey, Pony, shut up for a second. What was that now, Koi?
I said you don't listen to a word I say, do you? I was trying to talk about my cat's too old to hunt.
Oh. Okay, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, like I said, no more pets for quite a while.
Yeah.
There's always other people's kids.
No.
No, Mel, no.
No, I would just train. I would just take.
Talking about post-apocalyptic thing.
That were to happen.
We're not going after other people's kids.
No.
I don't know. They might be tasty.
No.
Oh.
I hear the Asians taste a lot like fish.
Oh God, no.
No.
Why? Nobody's listening.
We're in.
Yeah.
Sad but true.
Malum, you mentioned PR. You might want to tone down some of that.
And, you know, if you think about it, orphans save a lot of money when it comes to family size, because any bag of chips will do it.
Oh my gosh. My mom's boyfriend's suggesting orphans.
Oh.
Orphans. Yeah, nobody cares about orphans. Tell your mom's boyfriend thanks. That's a very good, very good.
Oh.
What?
No.
I'm just mad
No.
at him, and I think I'm going to beat him with a bat now because that's kind of.
I mean, think about it, though. Being an orphan, you would save a lot of money on a bag of chips because any bag is family size.
Just go to. I can see it now. You go to a. You go over to an orphanage. You talk to the headmaster and be like, "Please, sir, may I have another?"
Oh my God.
No.
I'm like,
No.
this is why YouTube is declining.
Degeneracy everywhere.
Yeah.
People like us, people like me and Malum deserve to be on the
We're going to hell. And hell's gonna be like, "Nope, get out. You'll eat us. Nope, get out."
And the thing is, I'm in every video game I'm ever in, and you have like a chance for cannibalism. I'm always against it.
I'm the guy that would touch it just to laugh as the guy eats. Yeah, Fallout is pretty awesome if you get that cannibalism perk.
Oh God.
You just don't want anybody to witness you.
Especially in Fallout 76. People, it's hilarious whenever like another player comes to you and they're like, "What the fuck did you do?" Because that's what my friends did. Like, that's what my friends did on Fallout 76. We were playing as a group, and I just see one of my friends randomly eat somebody, and I'm just like, "What the fuck?"
It's like the Maori. I'm gonna gain your mana. Phenomena.
So yeah, the collapse is going to be very, very interesting because it's not going to be 100% guaranteed of what's going to happen.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stock up on soy sauce, barbecue sauce, hot sauce. I'm gonna get a large grill. I'm gonna get a lot of bread, and I'm gonna make me some manwiches.
And it's for the nap violators.
What are you gonna do with the soy sauce? Drink it like the red team on Red versus Blue?
No, I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use it like a marinade.
Yeah, I was teasing you, man. I was teasing you. I was making a reference to the show.
Red versus Blue.
I'll make them drink it. Marinate them on the inside. Oh, that's just hair. I'm getting sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
Same.
I can't help it though. It's just too funny.
Why are animals mad?
Good idea would be get a ham radio.
Ham radio?
Yeah. Like you know, they're like old radios that you could like literally talk to. Like truckers have them, and
They're like
you could literally.
walkie-talkies.
Yeah, well, they're like walkie-talkies, except they're long-range walkie-talkies.
Yep.
Ah.
So
With
I have
multiple-
a serious. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
With multiple frequencies. So if we were to say each get a ham radio,
Honey glazed
could
ham
act-
radio.
and we could.
No, those aren't for eating.
And you guys called me the candlelistic pony.
So I have a serious.
Yeah.
I have a serious question.
What?
If you are what you eat, does that mean a cannibal is a people person?
Malum?
No.
You're gonna tell that joke.
Malum, this is intellectual dissidence.
So we can have a serious talk. I guess that makes me a big pussy.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Malum, you
God.
are.
This is how we get taken down, Malum.
Yeah.
This is why
yeah,
no
I
one
need to
seems
stop.
take this. This is why no one takes us seriously.
You know, it's the fun ones that end up making the world run,
Oh, man.
or at least bringing in the new age.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
That's why.
We've all just talking
we
to
should tone it
collapse.
down. Yeah,
Yeah,
we should
we'll
tone
hold
it
it
down, Malum. You said yourself this stuff is going to backfire on us.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but with all this talk to the collapse, you're probably going to think we're a doomsday cult. But
Yay, may death be upon us.
That mean they'd stay away from us.
just stay away from Malum, guys.
Man, which.
Okay.
Aw.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay, we should
But-
be another topic here, because
Yeah. Quick.
Quick. Ham radios. Ham radios.
Yeah, let's get back
So-
to that subject.
So what do you guys think about like getting ham radios so we can communicate even when the internet and like phone services are down?
I don't
Would be
that could actually work. I mean, how long a range are we talking about?
Pretty long. I think you can probably make a ham radio can probably go around all the way. We could probably do it within the United States.
Mhm.
Now from here to Indianapolis for $100.
So you could use them like anywhere in the US. You could use them anywhere.
Practically, you can take like signal straighteners and like make it to where it can stronger. For one to here to Indianapolis is
Where's the cat?
low cost. I don't know. The one from here to like where to the major city I have is like with that range is like lower cost.
Oh, if they're affordable here in Indianapolis, I'm going to get my hands on one.
I wonder how much my parents are gonna screw me over when the collapse happens.
Probably a lot.
They're gonna sell you, you know it.
Get past them.
But yeah.
Seriously, I was just being a jerk. Crap, that's not good if you can't trust your parents like that.
Yeah. So I'm thinking we should get a ham radio would be. A ham
So-
radios would be good for everybody.
So I'm thinking with a ham radio, does ET phone homework?
Probably not.
No.
Oh.
Well, I think we can phone each other to go to a home, like anarcho-poco.
Good.
Sorry. Sorry, continue.
But the problem with ham radios is that they're very because they're not very portable.
Mm.
You have to like hold. They're like in box form. They're like big radios, except you can talk to them.
They don't have apps for ham radio.
Sean took your cat.
The hell?
They don't have ham radio apps, do they?
No, they don't have ham radio apps.
No.
I guess you'd have to go out and buy an actual one.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to be too. I don't think they're too much. I'm not sure. It's like a good little, and like we could probably try to see if we can turn into each other's channels.
So what's the average cost of these?
I have no idea. I haven't checked. I just realized. I had the whole idea about ham radios about as soon as I thought about long range communication without much effort, without internet or phone service. So I think they're. I'm going to check actually. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Let's see. Hello?
Yeah.
Who left?
We're here.
Yeah.
Who left?
Oh, Malum left.
No.
Oh,
You'll probably be back. Probably got
Radio.
disconnected.
ham radio license. What?
Oh my god, are you kidding?
Oh crap.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm just typing it in. Ham radio cost.
If we need a license for that, we're screwed.
Yeah.
Ham
Yeah,
radio.
you do need a license. You have to have a license.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Well, just to operate it. Just to operate it. I'm sure we can do tests in a giant Faraday cage to see if it works with another ham radio.
Yeah, my
That sucks. $314 anyways for like a PD Dual 6.
Yeah,
$78. $78. Walkie talkies. $198. $94. Radio Oddity GD77 dual band. Since they only charge a single exam fee, typically $15, no matter how many exams you take, taking multiple exams and what? Ham radio for survivalists. So it's not worth it. I thought it would be worth it, but then I realized that's not going to work. They literally don't want you to survive, want you to communicate without them.
Well, duh.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Look into my black beady eyes.
I wonder if there is a ham radio app, though. It might cost money, but I think they'll let you use it.
App.
Well, we're going to have to. Now we're going to have to have messengers to and from.
Yeah.
All aboard the Pony Express.
He got stuck. He was stuck in the bathroom closet.
Oh, is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He was in there sleeping.
Okay, so we're just gonna have to have messengers. Be fine.
Hey, Pelotia.
We got Zachary. He'll be.
Yeah. Well,
we'll have to have a messenger, but good thing, even if the collapse happens, messaging would be pretty easy compared to the old days. I mean,
or what you can probably do is just get a group of people you trust and just work on a commune instead. I'll be the ironsmith, or the weaponsmith.
Which would be no one in my circles and person, that is.
I can probably help you, Melon. I mean, I don't know how to exactly make good weapons, but I can probably help you with melee.
I got dibs on the
archives. Melee?
Yeah.
I got dibs on working the archives.
The archive. Ooh, Zachary. Don't put your Christian bias in there. Don't do it. JK, I'm messing with you, dude. Okay. So
Yeah, they're probably gonna. Yeah, it would be market suicide to try to insert my biases into it. So we're all good.
okay. So another good thing would be to have is some sort of animal to as livestock.
I vote humans.
No.
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 You're turned down by democracy.
Blasted be democracy. This is why we need anarchy.
And this is why Sadists don't like anarchy.
Because jerks like me come out of the woodworks.
Man.
No, I would recommend chickens, goats because they're easier and cheaper. Pigs, they'll eat anything. Cattle are much too expensive and difficult to maintain. Definitely dangerous. Goats technically are dangerous too, so are pigs. But, make sure if you're working with pigs, you have somebody else there with you. If you fall for any reason and pass out, they will eat you.
Yes, they will fucking eat you. That's one of the reasons.
If you get knocked out or fall asleep with a pig nearby, they'll just start chowing down.
That's because they think you're dead.
Yeah, and they just start eating.
Pigs are pretty smart, though.
Yeah, so pigs are out of the question then.
Well, pigs if you don't have somebody else there with you.
Actually, you know what, guys? I might not be in a super bad spot because my one next door neighbor has a generator, and my other next door neighbor has nearby has goats. So.
In that case, you could easily set up your apartment or whatever as like a shelter area. Basically, every person works to provide security and so on. You just you turn whatever, if you're in an apartment complex or whatever, I don't know what you're in. You just turn it into a
I don't think you can
fortress.
I don't think you can keep goats in
a collapse. Do you think the owner is going to care?
No, I'm sick. Well, okay, whatever.
In an apartment. You're saying you can't keep goats in an apartment?
No, currently I'm talking about.
Yeah, right now, you can't keep goats in an apartment. But the moment the collapse occurs, basically you just talk to the owner and say, can this guy bring his goats over? If things go bad, we at least have food this way. And then I'm sure with enough reason, the guy would be like, you know what, you're right. Just remind him of the 1968 New York riots.
Oh, God.
I think it was the 1968 New York riots.
I'm talking about my current situation. I live in a regular house, so.
Well, that works either way. You just set up as a neighborhood group. So.
Yeah, I hope that they can at least work together because my neighbors aren't too bad.
Yeah. Well, see, the key thing is, and this is where you don't need government to get people to work together. It's just people interacting. You just find a way to get people to work together. It's sometimes trade, sometimes mutual assistance. Either way, pooling your resources together is often the best way to get something done in the short term.
Yeah.
In the long term, however, it always ends up leading to collapse. So
yeah, that's why you pool your resources together at the beginning. Then, whenever things start start realizing your property.
Yeah.
What's yours and what's not.
Yep.
Because there will be people who say, "This is still mine, though. This is still everyone's." Even though it's like a year after the collapse, but a year after the collapse,
it's the same with the business. In this case, the guy who's putting his goats in for the thing, any new goats belongs to him because it was his goats originally. In other words, it's delayed satisfaction, like with regards to investments. The guy who has the generator, it's still his, and everybody's adding fuel to it because basically everybody would cut fuel in order to maintain electricity. Everybody would reduce the amount of electricity, but ultimately the generator still belongs to the guy, even though everybody pooled their fuel together to keep that thing running. Whoever, and basically what was already there, what already belongs to somebody, anything that came from the fruits of their belonging. And this all falls under the concept of basically from the principle of self-ownership. Thus, mix your labor with anything, or trade your labor for anything, that's yours. Anything you trade for something else, or anything you trade for something else, is that new thing is yours. And that other thing that you traded for it belongs to whoever gets it as a result. And anything that's brought from those things, be it mutual, i.e. the mutual, like in a commune kind of setup, like with the communist dream, but ultimately it doesn't really work because of parasites of society. Or in the case of business owners, i.e. they put forth the initial effort, and then they got a return later on. In this case, the extra goats are the guy's return. The generator, the guy gets that back, but in this case, he got extra fuel to consume, so he was able to have electricity longer. And so on. And the guy got to eat from the goats. I mean, it's all a matter of trade. Everybody gains something, essentially.
Also, my next door neighbor with the generator also works on cars, so that's good.
Yep.
Yes,
So he has a skill that could be bartered.
Yeah.
Yes.
My dad can build things. And also,
exactly.
I don't know if my dad, because my dad works for the federal government, I don't know if he could use that to get people off our backs or not.
Well, being statist doesn't necessarily mean you're bad, but in a collapse, people would find out in a collapse large enough where the government's not there to actually help them, and in fact, the government makes things worse. That's where us ANCAPs have the ability to basically overthrow the government. Just by showing people how to live with an alternative economy through agorism. Agorism will wreck the government. The problem is that that's where education comes in handy. It's only when the system is absolutely worse that we can show, when the system has absolutely collapsed, that we can basically tell people, this is what we've been telling you all these years. But it means you have to be out there talking about it. And the thing is you have to have all the recordings, you have to have all the literature, you have to have everything. You can't just say, oh yeah, I'm an anarchist and I've been predicting this without having ever told anybody about it.
Yeah, I know.
So
shit, what was I gonna say? Guys, sorry. Well, my dad, let's see, I'm trying to think of what my dad also, because he works the post office, so I'm wondering because he would probably, if we had to start not relying on the post office, he would actually realize, because the thing is, it's a huge mess and he knows how to run it, but he's not willing to do it, except how am I trying to say, except well, obviously when everything collapses, he'll probably have to know better how to set things up to communicate with one another.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, actually, his position would make it easier to try. It would basically be inner town, basically multiple post offices working together. That's if people start going back to their jobs.
You guys ever seen that movie, The Postman?
The what?
The Postman. It's a post-apocalyptic movie about a guy who was a before the war, before whatever happened. He was a postman. And his whole thing was that he was delivering messages to people from before the war. He had, when he had the bag of messages, he started delivering them to the post-war people. So he was literally remaking the post office by himself.
That's all it takes. Takes. Doesn't always have to be rewarding, but sometimes,
he was just doing it for he was just doing it because he felt he had a duty to do it.
In that case, he was helping himself, not necessarily other people, so there was still reward for him.
Yeah. It was a cool movie. There was a lion in it.
What is this movie?
The Postman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Any of you guys ever seen the Appleseed series?
No.
The Appleseed. No.
Oh, it's so awesome. Appleseed Ex Machina being one of my favorite.
Oh wait, I might have seen one. I might have seen one of them.
Which one?
I don't remember.
Do you guys feel like it's a bit of a fresh air?
Familiar, and I think I got one of those Appleseed manga books or something.
A cyborg that has bunny ears and well, best description I can give it. A male cyborg with bunny ears and a female girl.
Yeah.
Tarios and Dunin.
I don't remember their names, but I remember the character appearances, sort of.
Mm.
Do you guys think it's like a breath of fresh air if the collapse does happen, because it kind of redistributes everything? Like get rid of all
It's a breath of fresh air to the economy. For everybody involved in the collapse, however, it's going to be a living nightmare.
Yes, to the economy, it's going to be like everyone's, like the massive corporations are basically going to be practically
Crippled.
gone. Yeah, very.
Only
Like
ones
the
that are going to
government.
survive this are the international bankers. And at that point, we essentially have to tell people, get off the international banking system. Get rid of the fiat, get rid of the Federal Reserve, get rid of the tax. I mean, at this point, I don't care if we go back to the United States of America as of the birth of the nation. I'd prefer to see Ancapistan, or the United States of Ancapistan, but at this point, it's well, the United Society of Ancapistan, still USA, but
Yes.
Versus the USSA that we're in now. I don't think the average American realizes just how totalitarian we've become. We think we've still got the modicum of freedom, but we don't.
No.
We don't. I mean, we're not allowed to collect rainwater in many states. We're not. I mean, seriously, rainwater. We're forced to buy via corporations. The corporatism specifically. We're forced to buy rainwater. One guy in Canada. I think he's got to hide out in Singapore or something now, or somewhere in China, because so many people hate him because he tried to copyright all water.
What?
Or no, what? Not copyright. Yeah, copyright, something like that. He tried to make it where
water.
Yeah, I'm serious. He tried to copyright water.
I mean, patent it.
Yeah, patent it.
For like
He tried to say that he tried to say it that it does not belong to anybody, that it should belong to his business. And I think he's the guy that was the CEO of the Nestle water bottling company. Yeah, I shit you not. There's some Canadian billionaire tried to do that, and like six major corporations, as a result of corporatism, control all the world's food supplies. And that's the thing that, like, the biggest thing we have with ANCOMs with regards to our definition crisis is they think what we live in now is capitalism. They think that is exactly what capitalism is, when the issue is, it's not what capitalism is. It's not, by definition, it's nothing related to capitalism. It's called corporatism.
Right.
So yeah, sorry, I'm also speaking for towards the audience in this, not just you guys.
Right.
I'm a super actor. I need my Emmy awards. Sorry. But like in this case, I lost my train. Yeah, but because of this, we have 6 major corporations that own all the world's food, essentially, because of corporatism, because they basically snuffed out all competition, bought the ones that were failing so that they could own the copyrights and the patents and so on. And they almost, and the Nestle Corporation almost did that with water, with frickin' water, necessary for human life. Yeah. And it's like, you can't do that in a capitalist society, because copyrights, patents, all that stuff is illegal.
Or wouldn't exist.
Exactly. Or not illegal, but wouldn't exist.
Well, there wouldn't be laws in an anarchist society. Well, principles, but not laws.
Yeah. Well, the principles essentially are the laws. Yeah. So are the laws of physics. We're not talking about legal. We're talking about actual laws in the sense of science and philosophy and logic. But yeah. And that's the thing. Most people think without government, it's like, do you really need to have a police officer whenever you get angry to keep you from beating the shit out of your neighbor?
You buy it out there, bro.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I bought it out. I swear again. I'm still trying to fight that.
We're fighting the urge to kill our neighbors as we speak.
Yeah, we're fighting the urge to kill our neighbors. Destroy
Every day.
whole life.
The status.
Destroy
the
the
status.
earth.
The state.
Make it
The
a
only
barren
thing stopping us
place.
is the status.
What's that?
The only thing stopping us from wiping out the rest of humanity is a police officer.
Police officer.
Yeah, the only
Yeah.
thing stopping me from speeding is a police officer. Most people that understand the reason for the speed limit, that understand it's not just there for our own safety or for another person, but like for everybody's safety. And like in a town, there's a reason why the speed limit is so slow. It's so you don't accidentally run over somebody's pet or their child. It's so because I mean they show it all the time on the movies. It doesn't actually happen all the time, but it happens enough where it's a common thing. Where they'll show it in the movies where a kid gets run over by somebody speeding. The kid loses a ball and runs after it in the street. So car accidents kill more people than firearms combined. All firearms combined. So ban all cars.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that's the reason why we have the speed limit. It's not necessary, and the speed limit was started not as a government source, but as a business source, if I remember right, a community thing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Look up the first speed limit. I think it was 40 or 45 miles per hour. It was the first official speed limit, and it was started by the community to increase the safety of the children there, if I remember right. So it wasn't a government that started it; it was a community.
If you have a link to provide in the Hangouts chat, we can put it in the description and we'll be able to look at it.
Unfortunately, can you do it on Google? Because if I try to look for it, it's going to kick me out of the chat. Screw it. I'll be back.
Let's see, what time is it?
Yeah, I use DuckDuckGo instead of
10:30.
Google. Trust Google.
It's 10:31.
All right, yeah, I gotta go soonish, so.
Oh,
Praise
your
Allah.
bedtime.
Well, I try to set bedtime because I wanted to go out tomorrow, so
Mm-hmm.
we can't go anywhere because we only have one car, and that's the only time we can go anywhere.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. Oh man.
Praise Allah.
Aladdin.
So how are we? So when we do destroy the state, how, like with the of agorism, if like let's say it's peaceful, like it's somehow peaceful, transition. What about the massive? Are we going to wait for the massive corporations to just basically shut down?
We're probably not gonna be able to.
We're not probably gonna be able to.
Yeah. Or we have to make sure they fall.
Make sure they fall. Okay. Technically, they have violated an app.
Because we gotta stop funding them. That's the thing.
That's true.
Boycott. Stop funding them. Stop buying their crap.
Yeah.
It won't take them. When the economy crashes, that's not going to take long for them to burn down. So whatever.
Yeah.
Especially since the police departments are going to be ill-funded to do much of anything. So if we start turning around the very things, including government and the big corporations that are giving us trouble, they're not really going to do much of anything because they can't.
And their money, and their money's worthless. Like they have billions of dollars, but that's worthless money as soon as the state goes down. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, we're going to use a whole bunch of commodities as a mode of trade. Hey, so even if cryptocurrency goes down, we'll have something else like cigarettes or something.
Something. Cigarettes. World economy is based on cigarettes.
Economy based on cigarettes. Oh, available as cigarettes today. Cigarettes is just raised in value. $2 extra for a cigarette.
Yep. 2 cigarettes for 5 loaves of bread. There you go.
There you go. Everyone forgot how to make cigarettes.
Oh no.
So now it's just cigarettes that are left over.
No, then they would just skyrocket in value and then not be valuable at all, I think.
Yeah, not useful for money. But still, like it's like finding a random gem.
Oh yay! It's a diamond. Okay.
It's a cigarette.
Hmm.
That'll make me millions.
Cigarette diamonds. Oh fuck! Cigarettes are turned into diamonds.
Shiny.
Shiny.
No, geez, I'm still very sleepy. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Maybe
Yeah.
you should go to bed, Evan.
Do you guys think I fell asleep a minute ago or whatever?
I thought
Maybe.
We're just talking about. We're talking about after collapse. We're talking about like post-apocalyptic. Yeah. Not. Okay, that was my mom's boyfriend. He was trying to tell me that like you could take a tobacco plant and it takes like 10 cents for a tobacco plant and you can make 5 cigarettes from one tobacco plant.
Oh. Well, if he
Yay.
wants to join us and call for another stream in the near future. he
Who?
could if he wants.
So I found citation. Unfortunately, the information that I was that I found conflicts with this one. And this one's from Wikipedia. I could have sworn it was something from Connecticut, but
the most reliable.
yeah, Wikipedia says it's first started in England, and it looks like it was a state law.
Yeah, but
Hmm?
well, thing is, like I said, Wikipedia is not always that accurate, so I would look
True.
at sources.
It's not always accurate, but it is
And you wonder why I never use it as a citation nor accept it.
I mean, it can be acceptable. It's just that it's not always going to be.
Yeah, just double check the sources. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You got to look at the sources that Wikipedia uses. Yeah.
Yep.
That's it can be good. It's useful, but it's whatever. You got to look at their sources every single time it's given to you, and you got to see all the data's collected and all that stuff every single time you're given a source and blah blah blah.
Yep. Oh, what was the other thing I needed citation for?
I can't sure think of anything.
I thought there was something else.
Fixing their mistake.
I don't know why I'm such a sleepy nigger.
Reverend, you might want to, for PR reasons, you might want to refrain from using that one word.
Aww.
That's really good.
Yeah, we don't want to be taken down.
Yep.
Nor do we want Antifa to be on us.
Oh,
if we can help it.
Antifa! Oh my god.
Yeah, no offense, but I think no, never mind. I shouldn't be insulting. They are a threat at times.
Someone says, "Okay, I'm on." You know, Amino Malum with Red Debate.
Yeah.
Someone said, I told them how we're not receiving benefit from taxation. Like, well, what we do receive is shit.
Yeah.
Moldy sandwiches. I take money from you and you'll receive a moldy sandwich. I don't know.
He says, I'm sorry, does the police not exist? How about the roads, the firefighters? Are those fictional too? I literally told him the roads are not even a government construct. That
might be where I got the information confused on this road thing, but yeah.
They're not even a government construct. We had roads before they were even used for taxation, for taxes. Like before they used taxes for roads.
Well, about the only thing that the government really brought about with regards to innovation towards roads was for military defense purposes against the Soviet Union, and that was with regards to the Soviet highway. Or, I mean, not the Soviet highway, the super highway. Yeah, Soviet highway is still the same damn thing in the way the U.S. is now.
Yeah, the only
and they bought that. They got that from the Autobahn.
Oh, and here's what he said.
Marianne, you have the citation on that.
Yeah,
and here's
the only other. May I?
Sure. Yeah.
And the only other thing I can think of that government did regard. Well, the only other event I can think of in regards to roads that involved the government would be the Romans. They had the soldiers build roads just to be able to get to where they had to for military purposes. If that was the only reason they did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
the Romans were the first to produce paved roads, as far as we know. We don't know who actually, and not even paved roads. It was just bricks and rocks. But even then, even then, it's been speculated on times, and unfortunately, I don't know where I got this from. I do remember reading it, just I don't have citation. It's been speculated that there's a possibility they took it off of somebody who did that to make their house look prettier, which is usually how it works. Life imitates art. Scotty, beam me up.
So the guy goes, and further outside an ideological war, but that like he's talking about the about wars, like about how we're further outside an ideological war. That doesn't exactly help my case. Every incident of men voluntarily going to fight wars on other countries isn't the government's fault, though. They signed up. They knew they were getting into, and even wanted it. So you can't blame.
Ask him how one of the reasons why. Ask him about pressing into service. One of the major reasons why the United States had our frickin' Revolutionary War was because men could be pressed into service, and we didn't like that. And when I say pressed into service, it's like draft. The only difference is you don't get out unless you die.
You do realize, you do. No, he's saying that about the voluntary recruitment that we have now.
Yeah, and I went in. Yeah, okay. So voluntary recruitment. We still have the draft in the back, which means if enough people get out, they're gonna do it. They're gonna bring it back. So yeah, there is voluntary thing. I mean, hell, I've voluntarily signed up for the United States Marine Corps. What? Yeah, duh. I went through that to de-wimpify myself. I really, really need to learn how to. I almost said another word, but yeah.
So should I respond as in, you do realize we still have the draft, and that they can call upon it at any time, and what about the fact that a lot of times
are we
they
talking
make
about pedal?
Huh?
Are we talking pedal?
No, not pedal. This is why though. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is there are those of us that have darker urges. There are those of us that go in for the glory. Unfortunately, the one thing that it's been warned, and you can find it in the back of like many Call of Duty games, whenever they the old Call of Duty games, where they'll show these little excerpts of and quotes and stuff that people have stated. And one of the things that always mentioned, I can't remember the exact quote and who said it. But they basically said to the young, war sounds glorious and stuff like that. And basically the state glorifies war. And then people find out that war is actually hell. So.
If only Theodore Roosevelt learned that lesson.
The state glorifies war as if
Valhalla. Yeah,
ooh, I'm gonna go over and shoot a human. It's so fun.
They offer free services.
Captain Planet, he's our hero. Somebody erased my memories, so I never.
Is this free shit now? Is that what he's going for now? The dumbass on Amina? No. I'm hiding. It's stupid.
What do you mean? It's not free.
Yeah, exactly.
It comes out of our money for one.
For
two, I mean.
But taxes aren't the same thing as money, you guys.
Oh yeah. Well, no, technically that's correct because we're having our banknotes taken away from us, their debt taken away from us. What's funny is that people will kill each other over debt, over slips of debt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't realize that, take out a $1 bill. That's $1 of debt and interest that you're holding. So that means you're actually minus $1. If you got $1 million, you're minus $1 million, and people will kill you over that.
Yeah,
the greatest con in history.
Yeah. You do realize we still have the draft, and the fact that the state glorifies war as if it was Valhalla. They offer free services to soldiers and make it an even free education.
Supposed free education.
Yeah.
Supposedly. Yeah.
Even our medical system, which is based on the TRICARE system, is supported by insurance agencies. Hey, wow. The Obamacare was supposed to be a modification based on the TRICARE system.
Unless you want to have, unless you want to have what Canada has, where, well, the American one's not good either, but the Canadian one, I literally see sleeping bags at the emergency department. Not kidding you.
Oh, lovely. Shit. Can you take a picture of that and one day post it on screen?
I'm not allowed to. They're not allowed to. I'm not allowed to there, but it does. Whatever.
You're not allowed to? What?
No, because of the privacy of other patients and all that, or whatever. I think.
Or they just don't want you to. They don't want people to.
They don't want people to see. They don't want people to see it.
Well, yeah, people need to see it. I think a videotape and this crap being posted on YouTube here in the United States. An American just goes over the border with their real ID, with a camera, videotapes or records this thing, uploads it on YouTube, and then we just post it, and then we just share it with every ANCAP out there, and we show that, hey, it's Canadian.
Well, hey, I was on the high priority list one time because they were testing me for Tylenol overdose or whatever, Tylenol overdose, and it took them hours just to get my blood tested or whatever. Hours. I was on the high priority thing, and it took them freaking hours just to get my blood tested.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Just look at England and their healthcare system. Luckily, my girlfriend managed to get through on that right away when she hurt herself. But like, they have old people that they're starving to death in hospital rooms. Like, what the hell?
No, I know. In Canada, we have people who are put in Tim Hortons and all that stuff or whatever instead of hospital rooms.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say.
It had to perform emergency.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
I'm not finished yet. Anyway, whatever. And there's also like whatever. I remember one time someone pointing out to me that they had to perform emergency surgery in a Tim Hortons in Toronto or something. Oh yeah, that's completely not going to get the patient infected. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right,
okay, guys. Can I say something now?
Go on. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're going to be able to record the Canadian healthcare system, I'd recommend using a hidden camera if you can get away with it. Something that they won't even suspect is a camera, and record. And then as soon as you're at a site, save what you record as quickly as possible, and then upload as soon as you can. That way,
it's not that hard. A briefcase is about all you need. A GoCam, you cut a hole inside the side of the briefcase to fit the GoCam, and then you put a little emblem thing so it looks like it's an emblem that people are looking at. And then you just walk by. They'll see a briefcase with a little emblem at worst, and you walk by. I mean, they had freaking submachine MP5Ks in a modified briefcase so that they could essentially... Yeah. Oh man, I want one of those.
There's also like what's it called? Get a folding machine gun that like looks like a desktop a replacement battery or whatever. They could pop out at any moment. That was made by the black market. Not kidding.
That's cool.
Yep. Well, they have a bunch of things like that. They have one that looks like an emergency radio and light system. I think they even made one on they made an adaptation of that on Red Jacket before they had their whole little crisis.
Chris Vector. Oh god, I can't remember.
Oh, Madeline, we were talking about. We did mention General Electric crashing. I mean, I've got the link in the chat.
I thought it was General Motors.
Yeah.
Yeah, DM that to me. I don't always have time to keep an eye on all these things because I've got all these other things, and you know about some of that. So
Yeah, the link's to the Hangouts chat if you want to look.
alrighty, I will at some point.
Okay, I'll DM it to you just in case.
Alrighty, thanks.
My big
Firefighters
city.
are really underfunded, aren't they?
Say that again.
Firefighters are really firefighters are really underfunded, aren't they?
Well, they rely on TV shows and stuff to get the glory out there, but yes, they are. Most firefighter places are volunteer, and you have to show exceptionalism as a volunteer firefighter to become a paid firefighter. I mean, heck, the same thing for ambulance drivers. I tried to go in as an ambulance driver, and I found out like I'm only going to get paid $1 an hour.
Jeez.
To watch somebody die, because I'm looking at to save the likelihood of me saving somebody's being the driver to save somebody's life is slim to none. I get $2 the moment I get certified.
So the firefighters are extremely underfunded and rely on TV shows for funding.
Not TV shows for funding, they rely on them to get the volunteers. Kind of like how the glorification of war brings volunteers to the military. Except the military actually gets funding, and plus they can offer education and stuff like that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
I'm just playing with bots right now. Don't mind me.
I don't think people realize just how easily controlled they are nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
They are men who volunteer to help their community with little funding behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why there's a sub company
While police get shiny new cars.
Malum. I was gonna say this is why there's a company that a sub sandwich company that donates some of its proceeds under certain circumstances to fire departments so that
Subway?
they can actually. No, not Subway.
Firehouse subs. Firehouse subs.
Yeah, Firehouse subs. That's what I was thinking.
And Five Guys.
Oh, you get why I said Subway, right?
Yeah, I kind of.
Jared.
No, shut up.
Oh no, please no.
No, Malum. No. Don't let me get the baseball bat.
Peanut butter jelly, and a baseball bat. Like, what the hell? Yeah, but that's the other thing. I mean, you can do donations. There's charity. There's volunteer work that you can do. And what's funny is that if this guy is bringing up firefighting as a purely volunteer basis, what does he think an ANCAP society is going to have?
Oh yeah.
Not only that, you're talking about 96 cents of your dollar being taken away in taxes once all is said and done.
No, he's saying that firefighters are a good like that because I told him that taxes don't give us shit, and he said, "What are firefighters doing then?"
Volunteer work. That's the vast majority of them.
Pretty much.
I mean, only in cities would you find that happening. I have a feeling he lives in cities, so he actually has a well-funded fire department.
Yeah.
But yeah, Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, if a fire department has to go to Meijer and receive food from that grocery store, that's embarrassing.
What was that?
I played with bot. He got it. He got my character. He knows who XR Coon is. Oh my god. I bet none of you know who XR Coon is, and the bot figured it out.
No.
Yeah, I know what you're referring to. Anyway, anyway, yeah. I mean, I know about Meyer doing this for firefighters because I used to work for Meyer. I was part of a few departments, not all at once, mind you, but I did work the bakery part once, and there was a group of fighters. Well, at any given moment that they were hit there, one firefighter would receive a pie from us, which was our little thank you to them. I mean, seriously, they're volunteers. They can't really. I mean, they have to rely on people's generosity.
Exactly. And imagine how more generous, like the key thing is the wealthier you are, typically speaking, the more generous you are. Even the miserly, like the thing about anarcho-capitalism, capitalism in general, if you want to get something more, you have to give something. It's a give and take. That's the key element about capitalism. And if you want to get wealthier, like if you have something that you value more than what you have, you literally have to give something up. The same thing for the miserly. If they want something, they have to give something up. If they want to make more money, if they value money more than anything else, they have to spend money to make more money. So, and the thing is they can't just hold on to it. Yeah, it's not really miserly. They're thinking, oh yeah, Ebenezer Scrooge. That's only with freaking gold. And even then, gold becomes valueless, or gold will become useless if he's got all the gold in the world. So,
that's what happened to Mali. That's what happened to the Mali Empire, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pardon me for interrupting, but yeah. So yeah, that your bot knows what XR Kun is, and you also know who Darth Krayt is. Your bot.
My bot.
Yes, a bot knows that. Yep. Oh my god. I like this bot. I want to give it a noogie.
I think he's talking about a bot on Koi's Discord.
Aki.
Yep.
Is that how you say it?
Yep.
Aki Mono.
I think my adorableness has intensified. I don't know.
So I found a link to a what was it? It was a link about the per person, like pollution per person.
Oh,
I was looking
that's from Pedo.
Yeah, that's from Pedo.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Who?
There's a guy named Pedal Sage.
Yeah, don't mention his full name. Don't mention his full name. We don't want to be accused of doxing.
I don't know. We're not doxing. That's just his. I don't even think that's his real name. That's just a fact. You know, it's just like a misnomer.
Just in case, don't say the full thing.
Yeah.
Well, okay. But yeah, he's very weird. He says his government's perfect.
Wait, what? Where's this guy from?
No idea. He doesn't say.
His government's perfect.
If it's
wow, he must be the king of a one-man kingdom.
He said his government's perfect. He is they have the court. They have a court which apparently doesn't belong to the government, even though it's funded by the government. I mean, that it belongs to the government. He's like, oh, private courts won't beat the court.
That's every government.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We have private courts in Ancapistan too. So where's he getting at? That it's the government-funded private court. In other words, it's corporatist. It's a corporatist alliance, essentially. Where's this guy? Finland or something?
I don't know. He said he's.
I'm guessing. The only reason I said Finland is because I know a guy that they on DeviantArt anyway, not his actual name, but basically he treats the EU and Finland like it's the greatest thing in the world. It keeps comparing it to the United States in terms of guns. I mean,
bless you.
His username on DeviantArt is BronzeHeart92. If you see him, just don't bother wasting your time with him. It's just gonna be a headache.
Then he used
he'll keep. And the moment you start debating him on anything, he'll start mentioning you to other people in an attempt to smear you on the forums. It's annoying.
This sounds like Pedal.
Yeah, I
He
prefer to
sounds
just go in there and provide advice. I'm not a debater. I hate debating.
Yeah, same.
But this
Not
Pedal
sure
guy,
if it's
yeah, he says the government's perfect. His government's perfect, and it's like, and his taxation's equivalent to putting money in a bank.
Oh my god.
Central bank?
Apparently, it's like it's putting money in a bank. It's
much
putting
a
money in a bank theft. It's like it is.
Well, then
whenever
his
you-
government will last. His government will survive the collapse. A-okay.
No.
And France isn't having riots over Sharia law and gasoline.
Sharia law.
Yeah, Sharia law. Because
what the heck is that?
yeah, it's how it's said over here. A lot of us say it over up here
Let's see.
in this area.
Yeah,
Let me find it somewhere.
That reminds me. If the rest of Europe collapses, and would Switzerland collapse? Because they're the ones providing some of the most secure VPN and email.
Okay, here's what he said.
Well,
I found
depends on
it.
how. Oh, it is done.
Okay, I think I found it. Just let me go up.
Oh my God! It knows who Juhani is from Knights of the Old Republic.
Yay.
Okay, basically, I said democracy. Like I was like discussing with another libtard named Thermo. I was, and this person's like a socialist. I basically say I was just pointing out basically the minor differences between democracy and monarchy. Democracy, 50%, 51% rule you. Monarchy, one guy rules you. Same difference. Then the Pedal goes 51%. That's government at its worst. What's fair about? And I go, what's then someone goes about how it's fair. What's fair about having your property taken? Because council agreed. You never explained what that is. Okay, and then they keep bringing up the thing called a ranked choice voting, and she never explains what it is. Like this other. What the hell
what
is
it
ranked?
sounds like is it's beginning to sound like something China would do. Yeah, this and the reason I bring that up is because you have to have a social credit in China.
Yeah.
So if you're unpopular, you're screwed. And you know how unpopular we Ancaps are. I mean, holy crap, we'd be screwed in China.
And dual Pedal, like Pedal would say, okay, and I said you never explained what dual Pedal goes. You guys have courts. If something wrong is done to you by the government, you can sue it.
Oh boy.
Not anymore. We can't.
And then Crow comes in. Courts are owned by the government, so even if you technically can sue, chances are the judge will be biased towards the government.
Basically.
Alright,
That's it.
guys, I have to go. It's getting late.
All right. Good night.
Alright,
Good
good
night,
night.
Koi.
Good night, everybody. Good night, Robin.
Good night, Koi.
Good night.
And
Night,
Crow. And I mean, one of our cases literally sides against the idea cops are supposed to be here to help. They have no obligation to protect you.
No, they don't.
They really don't. Even the Supreme Court says so.
That's right.
And Cro-Magnus compares it to what you're saying. We can cast out Satan by the power of Satan. That's you, Pedal. Sound like to me when you mentioned suing the government. And Pedal says, "Oh, I didn't know that government controls courts in your country."
Hello, that's every government. Come on, where have you been?
And I ask him, "What country are you in?" He says, "We have the holy trinity of military, government, and courts. They keep each other in check." and they're powerful. And there is a powerful election commission. We have a president, which is elected by the elected people, irrespective of their parties. And the president is separate from the government, plus a multi-party system. What?
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a parliamentary system, which is still a government.
Literally.
Yeah, and you can see how that works in so many other parliamentary nations. It just sounds like he hasn't been shafted yet, is it?
And I go, what government? Crow goes, surprising to hear there are courts in a world where who aren't owned by their respective governments. Almost like a private court.
Judge Judy, dishing the law.
What we promote anyways. Private courts are a foolish concept compared to what we have, apparently.
Okay.
What do they know?
Okay, Pedal. If you ever see this video, here's one of the things. Just watch an episode of Judge Judy or any of those TV show private courts. When you go in, you pay money and you have to sign a contract stating that you will agree to abide by whatever the court says. When that's in the United States. Yeah, Judge Judy is a private court.
Nice.
She used to be a public lawyer or something, I think, but I don't know. I don't know, actually. Anyway, so the thing is that all these TV courts, they're private courts. When you go in, you have to pay money and you have to sign a contract to abide by the hearing. If you fail the contract, well, in a government scenario, you get to deal with extra legal lawsuits. So not only do you have to deal with the legal case of dealing with the court, but you also got to deal with the court findings right afterwards. So you just dig yourself a deeper hole. The same thing is going to happen in an ANCAP society. In fact, if you want a good example of ANCAP society, Marianne, if you'd be able to bring up that Anarchast video with regards to maritime law. So there's a private court that's outside of the rule of government where it operates entirely on findings, as in one person says, I feel that you're wrong. And they review all the evidence. They try to take the most logical path. And if there's an issue, they'll explain everything in detail, and both parties typically abide by this system. I think the court is in England. It's called Lloyd's. It's a private court, and all they do is they pass an idea. You don't have to abide by it, but if you don't, you basically reputation ruins you. And this is as a sailor. This is a private court, maritime law. As a sailor, it destroys you if you decide to go against the findings of Lloyd's. Now, the same thing will happen in private courts around the world. Not only that, in today's social media, you decide to go against the court finding, even afterwards, nobody's going to associate you. Good luck using your Bitcoin or credit cards or anything, because basically fiat's going to cease to exist at some point. Good luck using your money to, they just won't associate you with you. You can't buy food, you can't get water, except by your family. Your family is going to be the only people that associate with you. And if you're one of the unfortunate people that burned the bridges with your family, you're screwed, man. You're freaking screwed. And as for a government, there's no such thing as a perfect government, because there's always going to be somebody with power and always going to be somebody who wants power. The biggest problem with government is that people give power to those that get into the position. People that want power, typically the people you don't want having power, are going to be the ones that end up getting it anyway. Parasites rule the United States. We've only had one good politician that I know of so far, and that's Ron Paul, and that's because he stuck to his principles. His actions created far more libertarians than any other politician or any other libertarian out there.
And
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was thinking, the thing about Ron Paul, I think he might be a gradualist.
Yeah, I think that, I've been making the arguments on behalf of gradualists in our private chats as well, but I think that gradualists and agorists, secessionists, Hoppians, and so on go hand in hand.
They do. I'm not. I was just saying, I think he's like literally a
Graduates,
ANCAP.
yeah.
He's just like gradualist ANCAP.
Yeah, without agorism, his work goes nowhere. Without his work, agorism won't really go anywhere, because the fact is his actions alone brought attention to anarcho-capitalism and libertarianism and created more, like I mentioned earlier. So
Yeah.
leading by example in that case. So but we have literal existing forms of anarchy everywhere, and unfortunately everybody assumes, so if you like anarchy so much, go to Somalia.
Oh man.
That's several government factions seeking to become dominant over the other. That's not anarchy at all. That's simply chaos caused by governments.
And like,
Or the vacuum replaced by government.
Peddle's illogic keeps going. Private courts are a foolish concept compared to what we have. And I go, only they're more arbitrary or likely ran on theft. There's likely ran on taxes. They're so-called courts that they have, Peddle's courts.
Yes. All that is a form of corporatism.
And I asked him if he's in...
Oh, not to mention...
Go ahead.
We need a... Okay. Not to mention those courts are probably going to go in favor of the ones with more influence anyway, which is why you see a whole bunch of hashtag #MeToo cases where the guy that did not even do anything goes in the slammer. Right now, the third wave feminists have the power in the courts, and that while that's changing, it still stands that whoever has more influence is going to win anyway.
Not only that, his government controls the finances for the courts, which means if a government wants something, they will say, you will do this or we will choke you out of money. In which case, what does the court do? They need their money. They need their money. You think they're going to keep working out of the goodwill of their hearts? No.
Nope. And it's like, okay, so he goes, so when you pay for private courts, that's fees, but if people pay for tax, it's theft. Lol.
That's because you don't have a choice. In a private court, you have to you get exactly what you pay for.
Exactly. You don't have to go to that court.
Yeah, exactly.
You can ask the guy or ask the your accuser if you can try a different court that's more fair, that you believe is more fair.
Well, not only that, the fact that there's a heavy amount of bias in the current court systems anyway is like if you're in a feminist case, if you're dealing with a case where a woman is accusing you of rape even though you're innocent, the last thing you want is another woman to be the judge. Exactly. The last thing you want is a feminist to be the judge, but last thing the other side wants is a masculinist or whatever the heck you want to call them, like basically a MGTOW. Last thing you want is a MGTOW in that position, meaning that you need to find somebody who doesn't give a crap about other side. In a court system, be it publicly funded or publicly funded via taxes, even though it's a private court, or a state-owned court system, you still don't really have a choice. So
right. And okay, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, and if anybody tries to bribe a private court in an ANCAP society, there are going to be hundreds more, probably, or even thousands. So even if that one is bribed and becomes corrupt, others will come in, and that one that accepted the bribe is going to have their reputation ruined.
Exactly.
Ruined.
In a state case, which is what's already happening here in the United States, you're stuck with them until it becomes a national public smear on the court system. And even then, they're going to get a slap on the wrist.
And here's where it gets bullshitty. Do you know how much we pay for courts? 0.016667 cents on a dollar per year. How much do I pay for insurance? About $2 per year. And that's how much I get when accidents happen. About $4,000. Death, $1,200. 120. No, I think it's $12,000. And I'm guessing bullshit.
Well, he might be telling the truth. Unfortunately, depending on the government legislation, like here, I'm pretty sure it's mandatory there too. When it becomes mandatory that you have to have legislation, you're going to get shafted. I mean, when legislation makes it mandatory that you have to get insurance, sorry, that's when you're going to get shafted. So.
Yeah, but he's saying he pay. Apparently, that's how much taxes he gets. Which is,
yeah,
I think,
I'm going to need to see citation on that. That sounds like such a load. Just the tax part on the courts sounds like such a load of crap.
Yeah, I said honestly, I think you're full of crap now. I want proof, and even then, a cent stolen is a cent stolen.
Yeah.
So.
Well, see, the problem is that it's a lot like group sharing or crowdfunding. You a company might need $1 million and they'll still get $1 million from a crowd fund, but if all you donate is a penny and they still get $1 million and then some, well then that's another case. But that's exactly how taxes typically work, is that they try to take such a small amount. Now, well, the problem is that when their government spending and the population decides, oh, I want more, I want more, I want more. Well, the costs are going to go up. The taxes are going to have to go up.
Exactly. And he goes, let's see, you're doing a lousy job convincing me, not really an argument. Sorry, not releasing details about myself. I'm not asking for your fucking house numbers and shit.
Yeah, we don't care whether you're convinced. We care about the evidence. We could, if you think we're going to be impressed by a lack of being convinced, you're sorely mistaken. It's just going to make us think you're just an absolute idiot that doesn't even know how to debate.
Yeah, not only that, like in my case, I screwed up with not only the possibility of Connecticut being not the first, a town in Connecticut not being the first place to have a speed limit, but it might have been the state of England that created the thing. Hey, I'm wrong. Oh, well, I admit to it. Yeah. But I learned something. I'm not going to keep saying, oh, yeah, I think private people did it or something like that, because the reality is that there's evidence contrary to it.
Yeah. But a speed limit wouldn't be a necessarily only. It may be a government idea, but not necessarily has to be government action.
Exactly.
You know?
Most inventions aren't created by the state; it's created by people. I mean, since when do you see a politician out there paving the roads? The roads.
Yeah, even when the government comes up with an idea, it's usually a private firm that winds up putting it into reality anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
the thing is when you take. Go ahead.
Malum. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason Hayao Miyazaki made a film about this one pre-World War II Japanese plane engineer. He was an actual person working for a firm that had a contract, a private, even though the government ultimately paid for the zero, I think. I mean, it looked like a zero. It was still made by a private firm.
Yep, absolutely correct. Even the YF-22 and the F-23 that the FA-22 Raptor that we love today, as our air superiority stealth fighter, well, that was created by a firm in competition with Boeing, Lockheed Martin and Boeing McDouglas, I think, for the creation of whoever gets to own it. Ultimately, though, it was created by Boeing. It was created by Lockheed. Well, maybe it was Lockheed Boeing. No, I think Boeing and Lockheed worked on the project together with the F-35 jet that we spent so much money on a turkey.
Oh, he also goes, he also contradicts himself here. Everyone does it willingly, and it's per year investment, and everyone has to do it, because if everyone doesn't, then you can't get such great profits.
So everybody does it willingly, but everybody has to do it. Okay.
Yeah. Yikes! That makes no sense. I mean, ugh.
Okay, if I go there, I'm going to refuse him.
Guys, don't even bother arguing with him. He's already
not-
shot himself in the foot so many fucking times I've heard.
We're not arguing. I'm just recapping the argument.
Yeah, where's this taking place? In the chat? Out of the video?
Oh, where this?
No, not-
where's,
no,
this
no,
is
Don't mention it. Oh wait, you already did. Never mind.
This place is taking place. It's taking place in Amino. If you guys
Yeah.
want to check it out, you can. It's just really cool Amino. A lot of
don't
debates
mention
happen
any
here.
names here. We don't want to be like accused of doxing or something like that from like Right Wing Watch or something.
Yeah. Petal, if you do watch this video, make sure that you don't have any of your information. Dash, take a screenshot now of if he has any of his information on his profile page. Because if he decides, oh, I'm going to change the profile information so that I can claim that you're doxing me, best to take safety precautions. Make a direct message chat and make sure that you warn him that he was mentioned in a video between your two chats. If anybody comes over there and harass them, take legal precautions.
He's literally told. I took a screenshot. It literally says on his profile that he's dual pedal. I'm not.
So it doesn't mention where he lives because
No,
it does
doesn't.
have Okay, good. So then you're safe. Make sure you have that screenshot. Take it now as soon as you're done with this video.
We don't
Take
know
a
where he
screenshot
lives.
of this video if you have to.
I never said. I don't even know where he lives. I don't know
Well, that's a
where he
good thing. But the reason I'm mentioning this is if he watches this video, he might try to, and people go over there and look. He might try to have his information out there so people can try and bug him that way. In other words, he can legally claim that you doxed him. You need to have evidence, because if they find a way to screw you over, they will. That's the key thing you got to keep an eye out.
I think it's fine.
Do it just in case. I don't want to see you get hurt.
Yeah, just in case. Please, take a screenshot.
Okay, fine. I did.
All right.
And he
Oh,
says,
shit,
well,
that
everyone
one.
owns a bank account. Okay. Pro Magnus points out the contradiction that he made. Well, everyone
Willingly
owns a
forced.
Yeah. Everyone points out a bank account ever since demonetization. As a result, there's nearly no black money now. People are kind of in a golden age.
Sorry. Sounds like our fiat.
We're in a golden age now, technically.
Technically.
But if you really look into it and see like everything going on, we're in a bubble.
That's exactly what we're in. And when that bubble pops, we're freaking screwed.
To maintain your bank account, you need a minimum of amount in it, and that's about $5 to $6.
5 to 6. 5 to 6.
Yeah,
I'm tempted
what?
I'm tempted to
Nothing.
say something very controversial right now. 5 to 6 what? 5 to 6 what?
Dollars.
Okay.
Yeah, not sure what I can. I think I'm gonna get off now. I'm not sure if I could really contribute. So, see ya.
That's fine.
All right,
Cool.
thanks for coming.
See you,
It might be a
Zachary.
good idea to end the stream
Good
now.
night.
Yeah, exactly.
It's beginning
I
to
don't even know
drag
how long
on,
it's been
and also I don't think people are entertained by listening to this anyway, for the most part. I don't know. If you're entertained by this, go say it in the chat or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
I'm
we're
just
gonna end
recapping
the
an old.
stream here.
Wait, people watch us?
Wait, what?
Yeah, there are people watching us, but hang on, who are the people
You guys
watching
need to
us?
get a
I
life.
wish something would tell us who is
Five
watching.
people watching us right now.
Get a
Oh,
life.
really?
I'm looking on the YouTube video portion. There are 5 watching right now.
Are there any comments?
Got Captain Pipsqueak. Got Pipsqueak. He's here. Jaguar still here.
Any comments at all?
And the comment section, no, they don't come until like after the stream is over, I think.
Talk to
Okay.
the chat more. Okay, got it, Captain. Got it, Pone. Pone, 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 pone.
Oh,
I'm not talking to you.
by
I'm
the
talking
way,
to
Shiny, you sound like a My Little Pony.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. So I hear the end of it now.
Well,
There we go.
I think
I'm gonna mute.
I honestly think she would. She might make a good Fluttershy. What? Oof. Malum.
He muted. He started his car up.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Standardized testing. We're doing that tomorrow again.
Yay. Okay, what was that now, Pone? Al Capone? What was that?
We're doing standardized testing tomorrow. We already did some today.
Oh no! Before I muted myself.
I was saying maybe Shiny might make a good Fluttershy.
No, she sounds like she would sound more like Rainbow Dash's little sister.
Probably.
More aggressive.
Just more aggressive. I mean,
or a gung ho version of Fluttershy.
Oh, basically Scootaloo. Basically Scootaloo. What is that?
Oh.
My little pony.
I'm tempted to say something.
Let's catch up on Pipsqueak's messages, I guess.
I'm tempted to say something. I'm tempted to say something rude.
Oh, Revan wants to say something.
Oh, sorry.
I'm tempted to say something very rude right now.
Oh no.
I'm trying to keep back on my swearing, man. Don't make sure it's not that one word. I'm fighting too, man.
It's the horrible, dreaded. It's the dreaded word.
No. Okay, so what's Pipsqueak's comments?
Start with if you want a good video on private courts, look for Law Without Government by Robert P. Murphy here on YouTube. I agree.
Yeah,
that one. I haven't watched that in a while.
Yeah, that's a good video.
And there's more. Ron Paul dedicated his life to being a meme that drew people towards libertarianism, minarchism, and anarchism. The Virgin Libertarian Party attempts to change the system from within versus Chad. Ron Paul uses the political system to shitpost about freedom.
Oh my god, oh no. Oh no, oh no. Pipsqueak found something out about me. Look at the bottom. Oh, no.
I don't even know how to look that up. How do I look that up?
What?
It doesn't show me.
You have to go
I'm
to
on
the
a cell phone.
No.
Oh, how do I go there? I've never done that.
I think you have to go to YouTube and like actively find the stream.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Pip's
me out.
continues. England created the first speed limit to prevent cars replacing horse-drawn transports. And then he says, right-wing watch will accuse you of doxing anyway. And then after talk to the chat more, he ended with Revan is 100% nibba.
Say that again.
After talk to the chat more, he says Revan is 100% nibba.
Nibba.
I'm a nibba, guys. I didn't know that about myself.
We're right-wing watch. We're already on right-wing watch. Gotta. All ANCAPs are because they consider us right-wing.
Yeah, that's.
See, Kyle, we will conquer you with Blitzkrieg, and then we will leave you alone. Kyle yellow. Kyle black.
No such thing as
Here, we will disarm. We will disarm no one, and instead we will give you MP44s. Have fun shooting up the range, kids.
To every man, woman, and child. MP4s. Hope you like.
We believe if you are in violation of somebody else's self-ownership, you should be punished or ostracized. We believe we believe that your work is valued as tradable commodity. We believe okay, maybe I should just stop.
Maybe.
You do not make convincing German sound, nigga.
Violating the NAP 9. That is verboten.
Communist.
9.
That's for filthy communists.
Oh god.
My girlfriend and I. My girlfriend is from Germany, obviously. Well, she rated our first time doing the boat back door, and she must have really enjoyed it because all she did was scream 99999. All other times she rated me as 1 or 2.
Amazing. Perfect.
Does that constitute as violation of the NAP?
We're being rated. I'm only rated. My girlfriend only rates me a 1 or a 2. Never above. Oh man.
I'm already breaking my deal. I need to gain control.
Pipsqueak, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate roads?
Oh, I am a statist. I hate roads. Burn the roads.
Roads need to be dug into trenches. We'll build them into canals.
Screw roads. Dig trenches. Put on stall helms. Get the car 98. Go in the water, baby. I'll be back.
Screw roads. Build the fucking trenches. Then put in water. We got canals.
9. Build the wall.
Raise instead of trenches, they're wall. Instead of roads, they're walls. We don't. So we have giant walls instead of to get everywhere.
Don't you know? Walls make good form of transportation. They make you strong.
They make you stronger.
We significant. We strong.
We strong. We walk walls.
In our world, in the Reich, in the anarcho-capitalist Reich wing, our dream is that only the strong will survive. For that reason, we built walls.
Walls as standard, like where the road should be. So like
here we have the auto wall.
The auto wall.
Here we have state wall.
State wall.
And here we have super high wall 1.
The high wall 1.
Okay.
They cry. They're at least 10 feet in height.
My favorite scenic wall is wall 66.
Dapperton had it wrong when he built the first Libertines. It was supposed to be walls.
9 more walls. No, not no more walls. I mean, I want 9 more walls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
9 more walls.
Look. Oh my gosh. And we'll build an extra wall around California.
We will build a wall on the wall.
On the wall.
And another wall around that wall. Walls, walls everywhere you can see. The Great Wall. The Great Wall of Ancapistan.
It'll basically be one big massive wall going everywhere. This has to be a meme now.
We want the walls.
All the walls.
Build the wall. Build the wall.
No more roads. All wall.
Walls make travel faster.
Pipsqueak says, people say anarchy is utopian, but which is more utopian, giving people the freedom to address their own problems or empowering the state to solve all of society's problems?
The wall. The wall is utopian.
Obviously.
Okay, repeat that. I could not hear. You're going to have to yell into the mic, though.
Yeah.
Pipsqueak's message. People say anarchy is utopian, but which is more utopian? Giving people the freedom to address their own problems or empowering the state to solve all of society's problems?
Well, given how the state cannot solve every single individual's problems without violating another individual's problems, I'd have to say the state is utopian.
Yes.
The state is very utopian. I mean, look, anarchy is utopian because we have to build the walls.
Walls!
I mean, if we can't build the walls, if we can't build the walls, then
no walls, no balls.
No walls, no anarchy.
No walls, no balls.
No walls, no balls.
Balls to the balls.
Now!
Oh my god. This is just gonna be the rest of the time just us talking about fucking walls.
Yeah, that's gonna get boring.
Yes, it will.
You know how to solve that problem. Build walls.
I don't know. Should we end the stream? I think we're running out of things to talk about now.
I think we are.
One final thing. Make balls great again.
Make walls better.
All right.
No, great again. Make balls great again.
Great.
Okay, well, before we go into thank yous, I do have something really cool that I want to announce to those
More balls. Yay.
already. Thursday, during the day, starting at noon Eastern Standard Time, I will have on a very awesome guest. He is an ANCAP metal musician YouTuber, and he's also done some For Capitalist responses.
And he's from the so-called socialist utopia of Finland.
Yeah, he's from.
Build the balls, keep the kids out.
His time is 7 hours ahead of mine, so hence why it's on Thursday during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to interviewing him and anyone else who would like to join in. It's going to be really interesting. I'm very interested to know his story. And,
I'd love to join in, but if it's what time though? Is it going to be like 2:00?
Well, in Eastern Standard Time, it's going to be at noon. That's when it's going to start.
Oh, that's going to suck. I'm going to miss it because I have like school Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, unfortunately, I have work.
Yeah, I'm going to miss it. And I'll give you a lovely comment and a like button then on the stream.
Well, yeah.
We defeated the bot again. The bot has been defeated.
Just tell them the Aki bot from freaking Discord.
Yep, I won again.
Just tell the guy Just ask him how's Finland, like comparatively, and how.
Yeah,
how
I definitely will ask that, and I definitely want to hear his story because, you know, what ideology he quit out of to eventually um turn to anarcho-capitalism.
because most people most people do not just jump into. They don't just come into anarchy from no other
Yeah.
background.
True.
It's no one. I never heard of that.
Me neither.
I do know he's the guy from Finland does like Trump comparatively, but I think it's just on the fact that
Gradualism.
Liberals, because of how the liberals are reacting.
yeah, how the
That
liberals
too.
react.
Orange man bad. Builds the wall.
Orange. Build the walls.
Okay, going into thank yous. Thank you to Revan, Malum, Koi Monster, Zachary, YouTube and Jaguar, Awesome Mod, Pipsqueak, Jay the Magic Robot, and the other guests who showed up in live chat earlier. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, Atlas included. Gotta love him.
And thank you, Vol. Hallowed be thy name.
Alice was in this. Alice was in this chat.
Huh?
Atlas was in this chat.
Yeah, briefly.
Oh, really? That's nice.
Oh,
Then I
that's
got
so
on. Then I got on and ran away.
Give him big hugs because he still doesn't feel at home mostly with us for some reason. Even though
I
is
like the
with
guy.
us. I
Well,
like the guy.
I think he's at home. He's just quiet. That's it.
Yeah, he's
But I
very
like him.
quiet. Yeah, I like the guy.
He's not as quiet around me.
He's very logical. He's very smart. He probably has the highest IQ of most people I've seen. I mean, right up there with Shane Killian.
Yeah, and then clowns like me come in and he'd be like, "Oh God, shut up."
No, that's with me. I'm like literally a moron.
No, actually, you've quickly become one of the better debaters to the point where I don't feel like I need to debate anymore. In fact, I think you've surpassed my ability.
I've been having a little bit of trouble sometimes. So.
Yeah, but all I have to do is come in and give you tips. But outside of that, you usually end up defeating most situations, unless you come across one of those self-deluded circular logic individuals.
You're pretty good at owning status and commies.
Yeah, like Pedal. Pedal is a circular logic and.
Well, here's the thing about Pedal. And Pedal, again, if you're watching this, I respect you in this fact alone. You've come up with some original information. Like usually, yeah. So to be honest, you're challenging us. For that, we thank you. And you make us look into things more. If you come up with something that, you best us at, we're going to admit it. Right now, we're still looking at stuff on, Pone's still looking at stuff. I'm working on things. So I got 2 jobs in craft. I'm looking at a second job right now.
Like the pollution per person?
Yeah, unfortunately, I never have time to research into that stuff. That's one of the reasons I can't wait to have a library, so anytime I do have time. Yeah.
All right,
awesome. Anyway.
Gonna
Sig Vol!
Yep, good night.
Build the walls!
Sig